what it will do you. It will do you, what do they call it? Like a film trick when when that victimhood is coming, because a lot of people assume that they would never be victims, so they think they're mocking someone else. No, you're talking about yourself. Hello, Dr. Francis, go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening. Actually, it's almost morning here because I stay in India. Aisha, my
Oh, good
sister, good evening.
morning to you.
Yeah. So I haven't slept till now, and before I actually continue, I just want to appreciate you so much for all you have been doing. I see my president is right here on the listening section. My president,
No, no,
thank you
no,
so much
that's not the
for
one. That's not the one. It's another account.
Okay, it's another
Yeah,
account. It's another
yeah, it
account.
is.
Okay, I just saw that. I just saw that. But we all know who our president is, and we all
Absolutely.
know, yeah, we all know who won the 2023 election. We always remember that. It's one thing that Nigerians are not going to forget in a hurry. But it's so sad. Right from the elections, right from the result, it's so sad, and it's even more sad the way Nigerians took it. All through the campaign, all through the election period, I've always been very active online, and I always tell people, Nigerian government has no excuse to keep you where you are. They have no excuse whatsoever. I live in India. India is not a first world country. India is a developing country like Nigeria. But we see firsthand what the government here is doing to make sure that people are living comfortably. Can you believe I came to India in 2017, and I used to buy, let's say, a sachet of milk for about 10 rupees. This is 2023. Sachet of milk is still 10 rupees. Can you believe that? Like zero inflation on food. How is that possible in a country that is developing? And they are giving us these excuses that every year we are suffering inflation every now and then. I personally am scared to send money to Nigeria. Personally, I have stopped sending money to Nigeria for about almost one year now. I basically advise Nigerians to avoid doing that, because you send 1 million naira to Nigeria. If you don't use that money immediately for whatever purpose it's meant for, the value loses automatically within 2-3 months. So this is sad. This is discouraging investment. This is discouraging Nigerians who are abroad, who feel they should invest in one thing or the other. Mind you, there is basically nothing. I lost my elder brother in 2016 just due to medical negligence, just due to things that the doctor should have been able to see right from scratch, just because there is no ambulance in the whole FMC. FMC, because I'm from Delta State, FMC Asaba, there was no ambulance in FMC Asaba. Just because of that, a whole federal medical center. And people tell us that we should accept this. The government is trying, they are doing. What are they doing? We can go on and on and complain. We saw what was going to happen. A lot of us, knew that, of course, the system is already captured. But Nigerians, do not take this lying down. I believe we can really make a change. We can really bring about justice in our society. Forget about let me get there. Let me assess. There's nothing there to assess. There's nothing there to share. The system is so terrible right now that even if you feel you are benefiting, you are actually not.
Yeah.
When the hand touches you, finally, you will realize that whatever you think you are benefiting cannot sustain you.
Yeah.
So please, Nigerians, the fight is not over. It just started, actually. What the Supreme Court has told us today is that we are captured. We have no hand in it. We have no control in the system. You fight for yourself. You decide what country you want. If it's left to 4-man gang, 5-man gang, we cannot do anything for you. That is the message that has been sent to Nigerians. So Nigerians have to understand that clear message. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Francis, for that. Just for me to also add to the fact that, look, in the 24 years of this democracy we've had, it came back, we had democracy again in 1999, right? In the 24 years of this democracy we've had, this is the time that the political class, that criminal enterprise, has been greatly, how do I put it now, have been in fear of the citizens. And I will tell you, Nigerian citizens came together and did something amazing. Don't ever forget that. Right now, they are scared. As you saw what happened with the Hope Uzodima's election that is coming on, and how he was talking about the obedient movement, is this, is that. They have been shaken to the core. From arrogance of 4 people tweeting in a room, you can't do anything, you can't come out. There are so many things. I've said this thing many times, and I'm going to repeat this thing again. History is very long when you're living it. It's almost when you're trying to achieve something, even in your own private life, when you're trying to achieve something, it looks impossible until that moment when you do it. There are times you sit down, you're doubting yourself. There are times you think this thing will not happen, or whatever it is, you can't achieve it. And then you keep going. Before you know what's happening, it gets done. Within 9 to 11 months, see what citizens were able to do by the time they came together and focused on the politics of this country. The people who have called themselves politicians have felt that, oh, they know everything about politics in Nigeria. They really don't know anything. But they don't know anything. If somebody can crudely forge certificate in such a crude manner, I mean, it tells you, where's the intelligence? There's no intelligence anyhow, other than there's nothing smart about criminality. There's nothing smart about it. It's criminal, and that's why a lot of people stay away from it and not do it. So when people are saying that, oh, you need this brand of politics, no, the Tinubu brand of politics is a criminal brand of politics. It's a politics of criminality, and that's not what should be emulated, and that's not what gives good governance. I see a lot of people who feel, because a lot of people have been so used, and I talk about oppression. Oppression most times starts from the home. People were oppressed right from their houses. They don't know what it is to have a voice. They don't know what it is to be treated with decency. They don't know empathy. They don't know what it is for parents to even look at them and say, look, I love you, my child. They don't know what it is for their parents to think they are worthy. And so they leave that being oppressed right from home. They get into the school system. They are oppressed by their lecturers. They get into the work system. They are oppressed by their employers, and so they think oppression and being given a hard time is the way to go. No, it isn't the way to go. That's the wrong way to go. And so when they see empathy, they tend to look at empathy as weakness. No, empathy is not weakness. Empathy is humanity. Empathy is what's supposed to be. If somebody is saying that they want to come and lead you and they're not showing you empathy, they're showing you either hardness, they're showing you criminality, they're showing you violence. So someone that can kill you to get into office, it's not there to serve you. It's not there for your well-being. Definitely not. And so people should remove that mindset from their heads of thinking that, oh, they need somebody, an iron hand that is going to be marching over their heads. And I know a lot of people, especially my generation and the one before us, where we face a lot of militarization, and then we're so used to military, marching boots over our heads and all of that. There are a lot of generation in Nigeria that were not that were born after the military. They don't know anything about the military. And I always talk about my son, who is one of them. He was born in 1999, March, two months after he was born, March 30th, exactly 2 months after Nigeria, transferred from military to civilian rule. My daughter was born in 2001. She doesn't even know anything about the military era. So don't have that mindset, and let people understand the fact that there was a lot of things that were achieved. There were a lot of things. You shook everywhere, and it's to continue. Now, no problem. You've seen, and that's the thing about testing system. For those people who do not understand, test the system. Don't sit down and say, oh, I knew there are some people who are coming. Oh, I knew that nothing was going to come out of it. And all you do is to self-defeat yourself. So you don't even give the person a fight. You just self-defeat yourself. I was talking to my husband, I think it was yesterday night, we were talking, and he just looked and he smiled and he said, you are such an incredible optimist. I said, yes, I am, because I put in the work. I don't expect any other person to put in any work, and I'm not going to give in to anybody. That's how I've been all my life. And I will do the work, and the work starts now. So yes, we continue. I will never accept Tinubu as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whatever he has gotten out there, let him go and do it. He's not my president as far as I'm concerned. I don't need anything from him. I don't need anything from whatever it is. Nigeria is not even being governed. It's not being governed. Is the bad governance we have right now? Is that the governance that we all are looking for? No, that's not the governance that we are looking for. Adebisi, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, everyone on the space. I've been listening and laughing very, very hard. Ashwaju is the president of Nigeria. He's my president. He's Aisha's president. He's everyone's president. Especially you told us one time that you carry only Nigerian passports. So I don't know who approved that passport for you, But thank you for allowing me to be able to speak. I really appreciate that. That shows tolerance. I've been to an obedience space. They didn't even bring me up. They kept dropping me over and over. I don't know why. And they want to run Nigeria. Whenever they come to Achiwaju space, they are allowed to speak freely. In fact, some of them even insult and go their way, but nobody will drop them anyhow, So that's that. But for me, I think, to be honest, also, since this is an obedience space, I have to also be very...
Adebisi, there's no obedience space or non-obedience space, so don't feel intimidated. This is a space that I put in, and look at the title, so feel free to speak your mind. Nobody is intimidating you here. You're the least of anybody's problem.
Okay, thank you so much. So for me, I would just want to speak that we should, the obedience should, they put in a good fight overall, leaving out the insult and the maybe any other thing, but they put in a good fight. I was speaking with someone here where I live abroad, and the fellow also...
Wait, which part of abroad do you live in, please?
I live in Canada.
Oh, fantastic. So you have 24/7 electricity.
You will talk about that later.
No, I know. I need that confirmation. You have 24/7 electricity.
We will talk about it later now.
No. I need you to answer those questions. Otherwise, I'll move on to the next person. I need you. You talk. You brought in the abroad.
That means you want to show me your obedience side. Then, if you want to move on to the next person.
No. So the thing is that I'm asking you. You're on my space, right? So it's my terms. You can't dictate the terms here. And so I'm telling you, and I'm asking you questions now. It's a yes. I said, do you have 24/7 electricity?
Sometimes it goes because of weather.
Okay, fantastic. Are you able, do you travel by road, or are there places you can't travel to because you are afraid of being kidnapped or abducted?
Okay, that happens in the US, of course.
No, we are talking about Canada where you are. I know US.
The US, for example.
No, excuse me, Adebisi. Adebisi.
In the US, so...
Adebisi.
But let me even make my mind.
Hello, Adebisi. I just muted you because you need to listen. So this is my space. I put it on. So when we're having a conversation, listen if I ask you a question. So you said you live in Canada. I'm not asking you to talk about US. So that's not the issue on ground now. So it's a yes or no thing. If there are places in Canada, we are here to be educated. I want to be educated. I'm open to that. If there are places in Canada where you're afraid to travel to because you would be abducted, let us know. So don't bring in the US. So go ahead, please. Go ahead and mute yourself. So are there places? So the question, are there places in Canada?
We are now turning into training at ABC.
So the question is this: are there places in Canada that you can't travel to because you're afraid of being abducted?
That is what Aisha has come to bring. Is going to bring to Nigeria.
You're not answering my question. Answer it so we move on. Otherwise, when you're ready to answer, I can bring you back. Maybe I'll take you to. Are there places? No. You came to my this, and you have a perfect time to be able to move on. You started with the nonsense of saying that Tinubu is Aisha's president. I didn't stop you there. I felt it's your opinion. If I wanted to bully you, I would have stopped you there because I've categorically made it known that he's not my president, right? So I didn't. So I'm just asking you this question. Why are you afraid to answer the question? Just answer and then we move on. I give you the room to continue what you're doing before Idowu comes on. Do you have places in Canada where you cannot travel to because you're afraid of being abducted?
There are challenges in every country.
I'm not asking for challenges in every country, you understand? I know you have snow. I'm not asking you whether there's snow in Nigeria. I'm simply asking you a question. Adebisi, do you have places in Canada that you cannot travel to because you're afraid of being abducted and nobody will say anything? Say yes or no question. If you have, tell us yes. we move on. If you don't
I've
have,
not been to anywhere, so I don't know. That's the reality.
okay, so you've not been to anywhere, so that's it. So far, the ones you've been to, there are no places like that.
I've not been to everywhere.
Okay,
The place I
go
I
ahead.
live is what I know.
Go ahead so
And
that we
actually,
have Idowu come on.
anyway, now thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you. I enjoyed the banter a little bit.
I don't do banter. I wasn't bantering with you. Thank you. Go ahead.
No problem. This is it. Of course, the Supreme Court has ruled today, and it's even a unanimous decision, especially from the PPP, from the appeals court stage to the Supreme Court level. It shows that as you won the election fair and square. And my only advice I would give to the obedient movement, which I've also applauded in a way that they've given it a good fight in their own way. Yes, maybe not too much experience in terms of playing politics and all of that. They've given it their own good fight. They will also need to humble themselves and to find a way to re-strategize, not going about running down the country or running down because look at it, Aisha, I'll tell you this the reality. If you own a company, you will not want anybody to be in your company, running down your company.
I will not hire somebody like Tinubu in my country, in my company. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. But I can be rest assured that you have a property in Lagos. I assure you, is your landlord and is taking good care of you. You are never kidnapping. Anyway. Let's just even leave all of that. So, but the point is, a good fight has been fought. Everybody needs to go back and learn a lesson. What is the lesson from APC? I believe they will also be learning a lesson, like you have said, that APC has been shaken by the obedient movement, especially, and also I hope the obedient movement will also learn a lesson to go back and see that, okay, where do you improve on? How do you go back and re-strategize? I'll give you a quick example, if you allow me. 2011, President Buhari lost an election. However, President Tinubu went back. They re-strategized. They told him, at least he made mention of that in Abeokuta, that this is not a matter of crying or weeping. We'll work together and we'll bring you back. And they won the election in 2015, as a matter of fact. So there's always a strategy. You don't need to go back and begin to run down the country or pull down people or pull anything down. Work together hand in hand, see who you can align with, and take it from there. That is my own little advice in that perspective. As regard President Tinubu now, I believe he is already implementing what majority, at least the top three candidates, even agreed. They agreed on, like subsidy removal, floating of naira. He's already doing that for you. So all you can do is now to call him to call his attention properly to what he needs to do. And
okay, begin to round up, please. Yeah.
Yes, I will do. Thank you even for the opportunity. So, but whichever way, for me, I pray Nigeria will return to a peaceful path. Everybody will be patriotic, and everybody will begin to see the reason to put Nigeria first before any other. Thank you so much, Aisha. I really appreciate it. Next time, always bring me up. Thank you.
Adebisi, I don't know why you feel threatened. Next time, always bring you up or whatever. I'm telling you as much as, and that's who I am. I wouldn't even remember you in the next 5 minutes. That's, and it's not just you. It's a normal distance with me. So whatever you say, it's your opinion. And I love the way you said the obedient movement are not experienced in politics, and I will agree with you. They are not experienced in the politics of criminality. They are not experienced in the politics of killing people. They are not experienced in the politics of using tribal bigotry, ethnic bigotry. They are not experienced in buying people. They are not experienced in being slaves to politicians. They are not experienced in just sitting down and using and impoverishing people and using them and looking for everything that they can use to give them. And I love the fact where you said that, they insult people. Well, I will take insult over being killed. I will take insult over going to vote like someone did in Lagos and having knives put into me. I will take insult over people like the woman that was killed in Edo State. I would take insult over people being denied the opportunity to vote just because they are from a particular region part of the country. And so that experience of criminality that has kept Nigerians down, that has not given Nigerians the access to good quality education that you are there. I don't know whether you have a family, you're there in Canada, where there is access to good public education, access to good quality education, where if your child is dyslexic, you will not have to take that child to another country. I have a son who is dyslexic, and in 2013, as a 14-year-old, myself and my husband, we had to sit down to make the most painful decision to take our son to England after his year 8, which is like, no, year 9, which is like GS3. And so he went to England and started his year 10, did his year 10, year 11, did his A levels, had finished his first degree. Today he's a degree holder. If he had stayed in Nigeria, if his parents didn't have the means to take him to England, he of course be called all sorts of names and whatever. But if you have family and they are in Canada, your kids will not have to be taken to all. And it's so heinous when people like you, who have seen the other side of what good governance can be, people like you who go out to vote without any intimidation, people like you who go and cast their vote without fearing that a bullet is going to come through their head, or a knife is going to be used to the side of them, or they're going to be driven away, or they're going to be called, oh, Omo Nigeria. Nobody will call you Omo Nigeria if you are going in there to go and vote. But you sit down in your places of where you are enjoying good governance, but you don't want the same thing for your fellow citizens because you want to come and be local champion. Of course you will blame, of course you will praise a Tinubu because now your dollar that was one time 200 naira or maybe Canadian dollar, it's a bit less, that was maybe like 300 and something. Now you can change it for 900. So when you go out and work those your hourly work that you work, now your 1 hour, it's not something. When you bring your 10,000 Canadian dollars back to Nigeria, you come home, you're now a local champion. You can sit down, you can be big man, and people will come and be doing dobale to you. The people that you're going to be giving 5,000 naira to or 10,000 naira to, you'll not be feeling big. And so that's the essence of bigness that you want. And so that deprives you from allowing your fellow human beings to be able to enjoy that same governance that you are enjoying. You are here doing an asiwaju. Asiwaju what? Asiwaju my foot. People who get to places bring other people to where they are, not to keep them. They are saying Asiwaju is my landlord. He's an employee that I have refused. He can be your landlord, but will never, even if I own property in Lagos, will never. By the way, I'm a proud property owner. I own properties. I've owned properties since 2007 when I started building my own commercial this thing. At one time in Kaduna, before I even decided to sell, I was having up to almost 100 families who are renting. So I know what that is. And I said to a lot of Nigerians, look, and for those people who keep thinking, oh, you're going to cry for the next 8 years, there's no bad governance that this country is going to give that will make me cry. What am I going to cry for? The worst thing that will happen, me kukuma, I no get shame. If I don't get money, I'll carry pure water for head. I go to waka, pure water. I go down Lagos myself, say the pure water, if not there, I will get market. But I know that the oil that is coming from somewhere, somebody is coming to Abuja to go and collect it. So that whole thing, oh, it's your landlord, it's owner of this or that. It's absolute nonsense, and it's quite disgusting when people like you who have seen what semblance of good governance. As I grew up poor, I don't have issues with that, but I can proudly tell you that my kids, they're privileged. They've been privileged to go to schools to amongst the top schools in the world. If you go to this thing, even in England, when you talk about God this thing, go and Google it, God this thing. I'm a parent of God this thing. King Charles and my son were part of the same hostel. So when he comes, it's not as if whatever, somebody is looking for peanut. But the thing for me is the fact that, and I always say this, I don't want to help anybody. I want people to not need my help. I want everybody to be at a place where we have a nation where access to good quality education is not dependent on the economic status of one's family, where children from poor homes can go to public schools and be able to get good education, when people don't need to go to malams and pastors to pray over their certificate for them to be able to get a job, where people are traveling on the road and they are not afraid that they are going to be kidnapped. That even if they are kidnapped, there will be a government that will look after them. The way Canadian government will look after you, even though whether you are not a citizen there or dual city or whatever, they will accord you the respect of a human being. We are looking for a nation where you don't fly over it and what you're seeing are red corrugated roofs. You're going to a place that even you're not smelling the poverty in the air like the way we find it here in Nigeria. And that Nigeria we're going to get it, and that Nigeria is going to be done. So yeah, I totally agree with the fact that the obedient movement, they don't know the kind of politics of criminality that you guys have been entrenched in, and that politics is going to change. Will we get to a place where it is the incorruptible judges that we have a place of stay, not the ones where you have some that are entrenched, that are in the pocket of the executive, and we are already on that way. And the obedient movement, this is not a space about obedient movement or anything, but nobody in Nigeria we say they did not feel the effect of what it is when citizens who do not believe in slavery, who do not believe in licking people's legs and butts, who believe that they are citizens of this country and they are like every other person, and they will come together and they will work, they will put in the work, and they did put in the work. They are not waiting for anybody to come and give them one thing or the other. And even if the person they are supporting, when he messes up, they call him out and say, look, guy, not do anyhow here. You do anyhow, you will see anyhow. Idowu, over to you, please. Hello, Idowu, Israel. Kindly unmute yourself. Well, if Idowu is still here, I think there's a Gaboni here. Go ahead, Gaboni, please.
Madam Aisha, sincerely, first and foremost, it's a privilege to come to your space and speak.
Thank you.
Today is a sad day for Nigeria, and I'm very happy for the way you gave Adebisi the opportunity to speak. So that he's going to express his ignorance and insensitivity. It's very good you gave him the opportunity to speak, because I came to the UK 5 months ago. And when I came to the UK, the first 4 months I stayed in the UK, I was so angry. You know why was I angry? I was angry because what I was asking myself is, Nigerian politicians, they don't come to this place. They've been coming here. They come here. They've seen because one of the things that really wowed me, was the transport system. You can't get lost when you have a phone. Google always directs you. You know when your boss is coming. The system is working. You get to UK newly, you register for a GP. Anytime you're not well, you go to this hospital free. The system is organized, and these politicians, they come here, they shouldn't live here. They live here. They don't live in Nigeria, most of them. And all the resources that come to the country, they steal it, force themselves on the people, bad roads. Here in the UK, nearly everybody have boogie. Boogie, what called boogie? What you using only your children? Nobody, you can't have a boogie in Nigeria because the roads are bad. You look at the system, and it's so annoying that someone who lives in Canada is coming here to try to gaslight people that they used to see light in Canada or this that just to support crime and illegitimacy and wrong. See, Nigerians, sometimes I just look at Nigerians is that sometimes I look at us and I say, I don't think they are Nigerians. I don't think we are actually Nigerians, because if we are Nigerians, we will love our country, because somebody who is part of a country, we should love his country. But what I see are just different people being forced to be together.
Yeah.
Now, Aisha, look at this situation. These Supreme Court judges, these people are men in their 60s. Elderly people, see the truth. Like, these people, they know the truth. this is one thing that really gets me, worried. These are elderly people. Elderly people after things supposed to have integrity. These are people in their 60s, going to their 70s. They know the truth. And they lie. Because of what? Money, bribe. Because of what? It is a shame. I feel so, sometimes I just feel helpless. Before this election, before Peter became, sincerely, I've given up on Nigeria because I look at the whole system. The only way people can change the country is by election. Electing who they believe in, electing who they trust in. But over the years, elections have been bad. Even from the time of Obasanjo, elections have been bad.
Yeah.
Rigged.
Yeah.
It is all these people, the president wants. Election have been so messy and unreliable. But Yakubu Mahmoud gave us hope by this election, like this new electoral law, to give everybody hope. And me that I've given up hope. You see where I was campaigning, going from house to house, street to street, telling people to come out and vote. That this election will be the best. That the IRF, these are going to work. Because I told someone told me that thing I lied. They were still weak. I told the person, see, with this new electoral law, what I've read in this electoral law, the only way they can win this election is that they will just mess up themselves, tell the world that they are stupid. They cannot win the election except being stupid, making the whole world see that they are stupid. Because there's no way they can win this election without looking so stupid. And do you know what? They didn't mind. They preferred to look stupid in the eyes of the world and destroy this country. They preferred to look stupid in the eyes of the world, destroy the country, and just to remain in power.
Okay.
Imagine, I'm sorry, I'm not even sorry. God will not forgive the man called Buhari. That man is the first person that put a knife in the heart of Nigeria. More like the knife he put, others may be putting pen, but he put a dagger in the democracy of Nigeria. He was the first person to call the shot to destroy this country. He's coming out today to congratulate. See, the elderly, the older generation are the problem we have in this country. They are the problem we have in our parents, because most of them, when the youth want to stand up and say enough is enough, they will really want to tell you stay back home. Now only they talk. Blah, blah, blah. When they see you speaking out, they'll be the ones to try to want to tune you down. And are the ones in these high places who enjoyed this country during their youth, and they are killing the country. And somebody here who is in his youth, these are the things. When I look at it, it shouldn't be up to 40, or probably it should be up to 50. Buhari was the president the first time when he was in his 30s. Murtala Mohammed 20s. Gowon 30s. These people were the leaders when they were like us. And now when it should be, and they told us when we get to their age, we'll be leaders. Now we've gotten to their age, they've shifted the goalpost. And you see youths defending this kleptomaniac, this corrupt older men. These destroyers of people's destiny and future. Imagine if this FBI files come out now. How would Nigeria be seen overseas? How would this country, even the deposition, how do you think people will see Nigeria? Imagine a certificate forger as certificate forgery is one of the most stupid offenses. Your president is a certificate forger, and the whole world knows. It's not something that's hidden. And you are here saying, Atiwaju is your president, Aisha is my president. You are shameless. I'm sorry. I'm
okay, Gaboni, just round up. Yeah, I've given because he won't have the time to come back and how do I put it, defend himself or say this thing. So just round up.
Okay, 1 minute I'll be done. See, sincerely, it is a sad day. The whole country is in mourning. We are. Sometimes I used to tell Nigerians to stand up. We have to do something. But sometimes I don't blame Nigerians who don't do, who are quiet, who don't come out and protest. These people, they've understood everything. Nobody will get power. No go shop belle full go protest. People, Nigerians, the only power they have is to find something to shop first. Now shop first. So they've made us so poor that we don't even have power to question what they're doing. The only power we have is to look for what to eat. It is a shame. From last 4 days ago, in a pound to naira was 124 something, 1240. Today is 1551.
Mm-hmm.
Just from 4 days ago to now, more than 300 naira have entered the pound, the naira. It is a shame, and it's continuing in that decline, in geometric progression. I feel sorry for Nigeria. I wish there's a way, but I will tell Nigerians, the only way to rescue this country is the hard way. It is the hard way. Election cannot rescue Nigeria, but the hard way alone can rescue Nigeria. When I mean the hard way, I mean something likened to the Arab Spring. I hear the mic.
Thank you so much, Gaboni. And one of the things that I'll say to you and to other Nigerians who are listening, who are in the same place of mind you are, it's look, pat yourself in the back. You guys did amazing. One of the things I remember in 2018, myself, Dr. Obieze Florence Ozo, M. Kabrik, and other Nigerians, some other Nigerians, we went around Nigeria just saying to people, look, it's possible to have a candidate different from the two major parties. And it was like, that's impossible to a lot of people. And what has happened in this 11 months, and that's one thing people must never forget, because one of the biggest problems in struggles is that people don't take time out to look at the little wins and experience the little wins, and you just look at them and say, you did that. So don't ever forget that the fact that you were out there on the streets, the fact that you were asking people to register to get their PVC to vote, that the new electoral act was going to do so much, you didn't do wrong. You did an amazing thing. And because of that, there are so many changes that have happened. There are many people who have been in the Senate who look at Senate as their birthright that are not there. There are people who would never have been senators who are there. There are people who have there is a governor somewhere. Alex Oti spent how many years trying to be governor? I can tell you that Tikingibe spent how many years trying to be senator. She couldn't even get the ticket of any party until Labour Party came in, and she's there as a senator. There are many people who have gotten into the House of Representatives. There are many people who have gotten into House of Assemblies across the country just because you and many other Nigerians decided enough was enough, and you did it in 11 months. You did it in less than a year. This is what some people have been doing for over 6 decades without even, and you did it better. You didn't have to use criminality. You didn't have to compromise. You put in the energy, you put your boots on, you were on the street, and you went and ran. That is politics. That's what politics is supposed to be about. And so don't ever forget that. Don't let because of somebody's criminality belittle the amazing work that you've done. And that's what I'm saying to a lot of Nigerians. I am here. I'm extremely happy. That, and what we must do is that we must continue this momentum. This is just the beginning. Good must be more tenacious than evil. The people who do evil, the people who support evil, if they don't give up, people who do the right thing must never ever think about giving up. They did something. Which tire? Somebody said that. I saw a tweet. He said, me, Aisha Yesufu, that I will leave my country. No. The criminals will leave this country. They are one leg already there outside myself. So that amazing thing, take that energy. This is the time to keep going. One of the things that we've heard constantly among the younger generation of Nigeria is that they keep saying, the older generation did not do anything. This is it. The older generation did some things, but they gave up when they were hit by this almost seeming, this criminality. So they gave up. And at the end of the day, nobody will know say you try. Now which result dey? And one of the things I say to people, nation building is almost like losing weight. Even if you give up, you don't go to the gym, you will still go back to that gym. You will get tired, one day you go fat, you will go back. This one, if you don't do it now, continue it now, you get to a place where maybe some of us will then be fighting for our grandchildren, some other people, that's when you'll be having children, you now will be fighting for your children. So giving up can never be an option. And I totally understand how you felt when you went to the UK. That was the same thing I felt also in the year 2000. That's 23 years ago. I traveled for the first time out of Nigeria in the year 2000. I went to Dubai. I was doing my first business. I was buying things in Dubai and selling in Nigeria. And when I went there, I was like, oh my goodness. So all of this, see the way this place is. And I can tell you, Dubai of 2000 and Dubai of 2023, you can't even compare them. When I went to Dubai, dirham, it was a dollar was about 3.65, 3.66 dirham. Today, you still go there, a dollar is still 3.65 to 3.67 dirhams. As of that time when I traveled first, dollar in Nigeria was around 108 naira. The first trip I went, the second trip I was going, it became 113 naira in the space of 4 months. I think it was about 4 months in the same year 2000. So you have issue of inflation, you have a lot of things that are going on. So I get that, but please don't diminish of the things that you've done. Don't reduce of the amazing things that you've done. You guys have really, you shocked everybody. I can tell you, and I'm telling you this categorically, those politicians are scared. They are afraid. So all of this thing, this is the last thing that they can do. Fine, we've seen what the judiciary can do. Fine. So we're going to mitigate that. We'll find a way to mitigate the issue of violence. The people that they use so readily and give them few amount of money for them to perpetuate violence. You get to a place where those people are not available. That's why. I think it was it Francis that spoke earlier who said something that said that he has stopped sending money to Nigeria and all of that. I've said this thing before. People think it's heartless. It's not heartless. We must begin to do tough love. All this one that somebody you can know, I'm looking for money to pay school fees. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. We are always giving them. You give people, they don't understand because you're doing stopgap for government. You're not being what is it called now? You're being stopgap. So most of them don't even understand the relationship between governors and their land. The person will go and finish praising a criminal who has entrenched himself in government and in the office of the president and doing all sorts of things to destroy the country, and then the person is coming to say, oh, my children have not paid school fees. Guy, you waka reach ASO Vida go collect the school fees. Go and tell them so that they know you have a problem, so that they will fix the school and give you good quality education, public education. There are private schools here. Private schools should be for people who want extra. There should be basic education. For example, like my son, even in the UK, he went to private schools all throughout. He went to a private university. He went to the Regent University in London. It's a private university. There are no places where there are no private universities, but there are public schools and public this thing that will be able to take care of everyone, and that's what we must have for every other person. There's Mohammed here, Mohammed Buhari Al-Hatu. Please go ahead and unmute yourself.
I'm sorry, Aisha, but let I forget.
Yeah.
Tinubu is not my president. I will never be my president. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Well done. Mohammed, go ahead, please. Well, if Mohammed cannot hear me, I think I'll call him. Is that Muj Genie?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hello.
I hope you're well. Thank you, everyone. I came in because I followed you earlier for a different issue, but I've actually learned a lot today. So I'm from Somalia on the other side of that continent, and a lot of the things that you said quite resonates with us as well. We still have like a huge diaspora around the world who've seen it, who contribute to the problems back home, at the same time hold the keys to the solution. I would say don't be too hard on yourselves. I think Nigeria is probably the first country though the rest of the continent looks up to when it comes to advancements. And as Africans, we only need one country to come out of this neo-colonial institutions. Asia in the 80s, you've seen it, they're way poorer than Africa. And when you start seeing the Asian type countries start to basically leave the free international system and actually become first world developed nations, other Asian countries actually started to compete and started to like move away from a lot of this like corruption, a lot of these neglect. And the problem we have in Africa is, as you said earlier, like when you want to pass it to bless your CV and all that stuff, we're hoping for people to save us, and we're hoping for one leader to be like really righteous and like take us away from the poverty. That basically takes away the agency of the whole population. That we forget is the people that made the government in the first place, that woke up one day, accepted, yep, this is my president, this is my government, these are federation, centralism, whatever the system is. And if it wasn't for the people accepting and going along with it, you'll see what happened in other African nations. And that it's not just politics, but also the economy. A lot of people forget that the money the government's taking is your money. The government, the taxes you're paying is yours. The oil and all these resources that other nations are taking are yours. And the worst thing you can do is just forget the fact that you have that power and you look away. And I think those are the worst people, the ones that look away, the ones that keep quiet and hope, oh, maybe if I get a chance, I'll change differently and I'll do stuff differently, and maybe that's what I'm waiting for, and that's the lesser evil. I think Nigeria doesn't need a revolution or like any other thing. It just needs the people to wake up, to demand. Like as you've been to like First World Nations, you start to feel a lot of people, they like really expect to, like when they leave Africa, they'll have a better life and they will see all this different stuff. But when you go to other nations, you really see there's no different. The people are the same people everywhere in the world. They're just having a different standard of living, and you start to feel angry that you've normalized how you were living in your home country and the things that you accepted when those are not normal things. You don't expect a minister to build a mansion with public money. You don't like expect like them driving bulletproof cars and all this stuff when leaders in Holland and all these countries with no resources are riding bicycles. And that's only because the people basically go out and vote with their hand, with a pen, to demand better governance. And I think it really resonates with the rest of us. And I think don't hold yourselves too hard. I just wanted to ask a quick question. I saw a video that you did a few months ago about the British High Commissioner, the former one, Katrina Lam. So we're having the same problem because she's just been rotated to Somalia as the and she's up to her usual shenanigans. And we were hoping that we'll collaborate on this space one day and you guys can enlighten us with all the things that they've been doing in Nigeria with the elections and like the police violence and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys get the time to like come and join our spaces.
Oh, definitely. That can be done. Thank you so much. And I think you've really spoken. I just feel like, okay, let's close this space. Let's just take these words that you said and go home and ponder on them. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Can you follow me back as well?
Yeah, sure. That can easily be done. So it's really how do I put it now? Let me just start with the last question that you asked on the issue of is it Catalina? I always don't get her word. So what happened was that immediately after the election, the 2023 election that we had, there was a lot of violence and a lot of people lost their lives. And she would come out to say that she was fascinated with the election and all of that. And I just call her hypocrisy. How are you fascinated with an election? And for me, that's one of the things that I've been saying to the international communities, that look, we can't have double standards. We can't have a situation whereby in the Western world, when you hold election, there's zero loss of life, there is no violence, and then there's free, fair, credible election. If somebody wins, you know somebody wins, and if somebody didn't win, you know the person didn't win. The process that bringing the people who are elected are process that are legitimate, are process that are free, fair, and the way they're supposed to be. And then you come towards our countries where people are being killed because they decided to go and vote. People lose their lives, people lose their limbs, their properties. People are harassed, people are denied from from voting, and then you come and you say, oh, let's move on, that's okay, because we want to have what they call stability. Meanwhile,
that's what she did to us.
Yes.
500 people died in the last 7 months, and she said, release the militia, the prisoners, and we'll do like handshakes and kumbaya.
And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. So what I keep saying to them, which was my point of this, if you don't accept those standards in your country, don't come to our country to accept those standards. Your lives, the lives of your citizens are not more important than the lives of our own citizens. And so even in the whole of them, even the Committee of Nations, this whole hypocrisy where there's a political coup, there's a civil coup, because when you do not allow the mandate of the people to be, nobody would have cared who was Nigeria's president if the results were, if the process was credible, free, fair, and credible, and the results still turn out to be this way, fine and good, we would have all moved on. Whoever Nigeria want to ask, we will respect the wishes of the people. But where the process was compromised, where somebody rigged his way into office, and you are expecting that we're going to accept that, that's not possible. So that's the main thing. But we'll continue to talk, and I totally agree with you. Nigeria needs to get its act together. It has a role, but unfortunately for us, Nigeria has fallen so behind that we've become the butt of joke, not just in the continent, but in the whole world. I mean, the last time I think, is it something to the United Nations Human Rights Council or something like that, voting to read. Nigeria only got 3 votes, where countries like Malawi and co were getting 100 or something. That's to tell you how far off we've fallen, and it has to do with our leadership. And people are sitting down and like, oh, people have to accept whatever it is. No, I can't accept criminality, and nobody's going to make me accept criminality in any way whatsoever. The process that brings people in must be free and fair, must be excellent. If anybody wants to be called Your Excellency, in the words of Peter Obi. Thank you so much, Muj. Udaini, Joel, go ahead, please. Udaini.
All right. Good evening, Mama Aisha.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, everyone else. So I was actually not going to say anything. I just wanted to tune in and listen to this space. But until I heard the ADBC guy come up, I mean, I just want to say something to him, yeah? So what is good for the goose is also good for the gander, right? So people have been saying, they've been making the statement I never wanted to make, but let me say it. He might not be in the country, fine, no wahala. He's enjoying his life, he's enjoying the basic things that every other person here is crying for at the expense of whatever you want to. So he might not be here, but he couldn't have left with his whole family. One of them, 2 of them, his family still here. You see that thing, that's hypocrisy. That statement of let Nigeria happen to you. If it not happen to you directly, it will happen to one of your family members. Then you understand what we're talking about. You cannot sit down somewhere. You have absolutely no idea what's going on, because like we're saying that your Canadian dollar has gone up. And then you feel that you have more money. Even when you come now, you can ride on horses. And you're saying stuff. See, you don't know how painful it is. It's like me going to the market, and then the seller says, the shoe I put on is pinching me. It's not my size. But because he just wants his money, he says, oh, God, buy it. It's fine. It fits you. See, that thing is very insulting. It's annoying. And no worry. You will feel it one way or the other. You will feel that. Don't worry.
When I think this particular issue of people, so sorry to really interrupt, but the particular issue of people.
No, hold on, everything. I'm going to come to you. It's not your turn. It will be your turn, inshallah. I think that's this thing. Mr. Strong is the one that's next online. Before Mr. Strong speaks, just for me to say that, look, one thing I've been saying since 2014 is that, look, yesterday's victims were once survivors. Once upon a time, when it happened to others, they survived.
I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I thank you for reminding me of that. I was actually muted. So one of the things, I'm going to come to you. It's not yet your turn. It's Mr. Strong. After him, I will come to you. One of the things I've been saying since 2014 is the fact that, look, yesterday's victims were once survivors. Because that yesterday, before they became victims, others were victims, and they were the ones that survived. Today's victims were yesterday's survivors. They were the ones that now survived yesterday. When it happened to those victims of yesterday, today's victims survived it. And tomorrow's victims will be today's survivors. Today's survivors are you and I that are here. And I always ask people, who is next? I think one of the things that people normally don't think about is that people feel they're invincible, that they can't be next. Every one of us, we are victims waiting to happen. Nigeria, like you said, honestly, Nigeria will do anyone. Even when somebody is abroad, forget about it. It's not this Nigeria. How many people have we heard they came to Nigeria, they were on their way to the airport to go back, one thing or the other happened. There's a man that was killed in Edo State. He was on his way to, he lives in the US. has been there for many years. He comes home, I think for over 30 years he's been in the US. He comes home every year to come and go. On his way to the airport, he was my husband's classmate. You understand? And he was kidnapped and then they killed him. Nigeria can happen, and everybody, I always say, we are all victims waiting to happen. It's Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited. People think that, oh, they were, then when it happens to them, some people will say that, oh, I never knew Nigeria will happen to me. I'm like, oh, what arrogance. You think it's only some people. So some of the people that you see supporting bad governance today, they don't understand. It's only a matter of time before the person gets to that place. And so that's the reason why it is good for us to ensure that the country works, because when it works and stop that evil, we are more likely not to be victims than when we just sit down and we are supporting all sorts of things. And like you rightly said, some people will be living abroad and they feel that, oh, they've escaped, then the rest of us can go to places. The rest of people, no matter how, even beyond family matter, even people on their own, they will feel it. Isn't all this already? Is there anybody who is buying petrol at a different price? Is there anybody who is buying bag of rice at a different price? I'm yet to see where they open shop and say, oh, this is the people that are supported bad governance, come and buy your own here, or this is sycophant's place that you buy. They are all, everybody is buying at that same place, so everybody is feeling it. And some people who feel that, oh, they've gone off, they are not going to feel any other thing. You can be in Canada, but one of the things I always say to people, even the people in diaspora, is that, look, there's a difference between a Nigerian Canadian and a British Canadian. A British Canadian, they know they went there because they want to go there. You from Nigeria, they will look at you they will look at the country you are coming from, certificate forger, posing, an impostor posing to be your president. They will say you are there because you have to, and they will treat you in that way. So a stronger and better Nigeria gives even the people that are abroad a better bragging power to be able to attain whatever it is that they want to attain in a good way. Mr. Strong, go ahead, and I think after you will have everything. Yeah, everything Satoshi after Mr. Strong.
Hello, I'm available.
Okay, Mohammed. Okay, so just hold on, Mohammed. After these two people we have, I called you earlier, but I think you were in there. But let Mr. Strong go on. He has been waiting.
Okay, thank you, Aisha. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I couldn't agree more with what you just said. The situation in Nigeria is Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited, and no matter where anybody thinks he is hiding,
absolutely. Kike Lomo, Nigeria will walk in our lifetime.
I want to start by kind of describing the situation we have in Nigeria today. It's like when you have armed robbers. When armed robbers go for operation, they kill people, they steal, injure people, and they zoom off and they go somewhere. What do you think they do? They buy their whiskey, they are dancing, they are rejoicing, they had a good operation, they have a lot of money. The victims are burying their dead. The people are crying, weeping, wailing. That's exactly what is going on in Nigeria today. So when you hear someone say that he is okay with a career criminal being his president, he's very, very okay with it. That celebration, the same celebration armed robbers will have when they finish operation successfully. That's it. When what's his name? Pablo Escobar was reigning in Colombia. Yeah. I know that there are people who supported him. Who didn't see anything wrong with what he was doing. Who even pushed him to become president of that country. So even if you have Satan come from hell today, there are people that will, celebrate him. It's normal. So I'm not shocked, but I respect everybody's opinion. If you choose a criminal to be your president, I think you should keep it for yourself and not to call someone and tell him or her that this is your president. I cannot sit down and fathom how somebody who made criminality a career I mean, we are not saying something that is a gossip. We are saying something that has been certified in law courts, that this guy is a forger of certificates. Something that has documents we can prove that this guy forfeited $460,000 for illicit drug peddling. And someone is bold to say such a career criminal is his president and wants to, say it is our president. My first description just captures my whole view of what is going on, and we are not going to see them kind of regret, because sometimes people get to the point that the ego comes in, that even when they know they are doing the wrong thing, because of ego they don't want to back down and say, oh no, this is wrong. We understand all that. He even came in and started with lies. When you go to APC spaces, they give you mic, allow you to speak, they don't drop you. He knows he's lying, because I'm a regular attendant of spaces. He knows that is pure lies. But that's always how they start, by lying. Nigeria is, I've been speaking to spaces. People who should cry for Nigeria and Nigerians. I'm in touch with people at home, and I know everybody knows. I don't need to tell anyone here what people are going through in Nigeria. And you see someone who lives in a country where he can sit for 365 days of the year, and he gets to the road, it's like you should stay on the road because you want to drive. And we are dealing with in a country where senators are saying they are buying SUV because the roads are bad. I'm supposed to come and fix the road for them to, maybe buy some other cheaper cars and SUVs.
Hello, if you can join us on Twitter. Oh, sir. I'm actually on my Twitter handle. You can also come in and request for the mic.
Like that you are giving them the mic to speak, so that people will keep exposing their stupidity and their ignorance. Thank you, madam. God bless you.
Thank you so much for that. I think we're going to come to everything. And there's something that you really mentioned, which is so critical, which is let everybody have a right to their opinion, whatever they want to do. And for me, that's one of the things that I always find funny. Since 2014, when I decided to start participating in governance in my country and be on the demand side of governance, I've never had a problem with anybody's opinion. Even if you say you like an incompetent president, talk less of now that me as far as we don't even have Nigeria doesn't even have a president. If you say you like Tinubu, it's your business. It's not my business. You have a right to like him. I don't have an issue with that. They always find it that other people have issues with the fact that you don't like that. This asking, how is that any of your business? Be okay in where you are, whatever you're doing, because I know your liking of him isn't going to make him any better or make him me feel any thing of accepting him as president or not. But people feel they always have to push down their own opinion on other people. So anyway, it's something they have. I don't join a lot of spaces, so I don't even know how they do their spaces or whatever. But at this moment, I think everything, Satoshi, you've been patient enough. Thank you.
She'll be joining a lot of spaces and be opening more spaces, so you get to hear the rhetoric that is literally out there.
Honestly, I don't have work. I don't have time. Yeah. Right now, I'm supposed to be doing lecture.
There's a lot of very, very, very powerful and important people who also don't have time, and
make time to listen to this type of space. Anyways, my point and my question would be to people who give so much attention about the entire shit show that we have just seen happen. What do you say to people who joined the move because of the love for Peter Obi, right, and had to probably, drop their bias for party or partisan politics, right? In that regard, what will you say to them right now when some of them must have, from the early days, cried out against the umpire of the event, which is INEC? What do you have to say about INEC being the umpire moving forward, given their steeds that they have just sown, even though we know this has always been the case, but as glaring as it is right now, would you still be, maintain the notion that we have to continue in this route that we've just taken? And also, if you can, could you give us Peter Obi's somewhat sentiment of the issue, even though we've heard from LP's chairman abroad? So just those are my short question, because there's a lot. There's a lot to look at, but there's a lot of people also who have to talk.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. So quite a lot of loaded questions that you said in the little time that you've spoken. So I'll just try and deconstruct them and just take them over as I remember. Although unfortunately I wasn't writing, but I think I get the gist of it all. The first thing is to say that there are a lot of people who supported Peter Obi, but who aren't partisan. They are not interested in party. For them, it's about the candidate. And for me, that's one of the things also that right from over the last 5-6 years, I've always we need to focus on candidates. Let it be. Let's vote candidate instead of parties. Let's not say it's because of party that you're tied down to one party, whatever they give, you have to support that party, but rather to get to the kind of people that you want them to govern you. One of the things that I would say to them, and which is one of the things I mentioned earlier, is that look at what has been gained by the participation. That there are a lot of wins that are there, even though yes, there's a huge disappointment in this, but also to remember nothing good comes easy. And in everything that you're doing, I always use this in terms of business sense, but I'm going to put it out in also terms of political sense, to say what is the there's a word. The word just went off my head now. Perseverance. Yes, there's always a perseverance test, even in business. You don't just come and then you start. Hardly will you see somebody that will tell you that, the first business they just started it and they just started making it. There are a lot of failures, a lot of where things didn't go right before you actually make it. So it's also that perseverance. I always say there's a perseverance test that you need to pass, that even for God to give you that thing that you're looking for, you have to show that you have the capacity to, you really want it, and when you get it, you get it done. So that perseverance test is probably what we are going through right now, is to stay on and not give up on it. And to also remember that in terms of election, in terms of democracy, the most critical aspect of democracy is actually the legislative arm of government. The legislative arm of government is more powerful than the executive. Unfortunately, what we've had in Nigeria is that the executive, because they are the ones who control the pulse of the nation, money, they have been able to use that to put the executive and the judiciary in their pocket. Ordinarily, the executive is supposed to be the lowest in terms of the power. You have the separation of power. They are the ones that are the most powerless. But in our country, because they are the ones who control the money, and they've been the ones that have been able to use, so sort of buy and keep other ones in their pockets. Why am I saying this? There are a lot of elections that are going to come up. There are a lot of by-elections that are going on into the National Assembly, into state houses of assembly. Let's focus on those elections. This is the time to keep going, and this, like I said before, this is the time to go harder. This is the time to hit harder, because the politicians are at the weakest that they have been in the last 24 years. Forget all these faces they are saying. I'll keep reminding you, go back and listen to what Hope Uzodinma was saying about the obedient movement. all of them. Go to David Umahi when he spoke about the obedient movement, and he said he didn't even know that there was a conspiracy even in his own family, where the conspiracy was that they're going to vote for they're going to vote for Peter Obi at the presidential level, and then the other ones they go and vote for his party. So that a lot of Nigerians came out, not necessarily because of Labour Party, but because of the person that Peter Obi was and the consistency that he had put in over the years. So it's to say there are more elections that are going to come up. If you want to clean a dirty water, it's very difficult if you just want to clean it at once. But if you keep reducing the dirty water and putting in clean water, reducing dirty water, putting in clean water, reducing dirty water, putting in clean water, you will get to a place where the water will eventually get clean. You might not be able to, in the first place, just throw the water away and be able to put in another one. It's not possible. So you're going to do that. And one of the things that, for me, and I might be wrong, anybody can, please, if I'm wrong, feel free to put that out, is that when it comes to politics, when it comes to the executive level, it's more difficult because that's where the money is and everything than it is with the legislative electoral positions. So if we can also focus that energy on the electoral position, and because over time there are always by-elections that will come up, elections are cancelled, maybe some people die or one thing or the other. So with the by-elections that are coming up, we keep getting in people with competence, character, capacity. Look for those people that you know will go in there, they are not going to be bought, they're going to do the right thing. And by the way, also hold the people that already voted in accountable. Like right now, the Labour Party House National Assembly members, they are not doing as well as they should. And so it should be, what are you guys doing? So this is the time to put fire on their feet, to look, understand. If you do anyhow, next election, you're not going to come in here, you're going to be replaced by other people. So this have the power comes back to the people, because actually the people are the ones who have that power. So in that case, begin to get people to get into those offices. Let's begin to have people in the National Assembly. When it comes to affirmation of appointment, it's the National Assembly that will do that. For example, now the illegitimate president that we have, the imposter who is in office, occupying the office of the president of Nigeria, has sent in this thing, what you call it now, has made appointment of INEC commissioners. And most of these people are partisan. The people that have put in either aid to Wike, aid to this other person, one thing or the other. This is supposed to be an office where you're not supposed to have anyone who is partisan or any way related to partisanship in that kind of office, but they are there right now. So, but he must get the approval of the National Assembly, because those are the things that National Assembly are supposed to do. And if you have credible people in the National Assembly, people who are patriotic, who have that competence, character, capacity, they're not going to allow these appointments to go. They will say no to it. So whatever he brings in, they will say no to. But if you have a compromised National Assembly, and you've seen already where people are coming out to say that a lot of bills are just being passed anyhow, the members of the Senate are being hoodwinked and stuff like that. So it becomes more difficult. So there's a need to focus on that legislative arm of government. It's very serious. A new constitution is not the executive that will give a new constitution. It's the legislative arm of government. New laws.
Are you for a new constitution?
Absolutely. I'm for a new constitution. I've always been for a new constitution. I've always been for this whole thing that we call One Nigeria. It's not working. Let's go back into region. Let regions be able to operate at their own level. One of the things for me is that good governance, accountability, and transparency, they are sacrosanct. The One Nigeria isn't. If it's not working, let's do what UK are doing. England is governed in a way loosely. They have a loose federation. England is on its own. Scotland is on its own. Wales is on its own. North Ireland is on its own. When they want to come together, they come together on certain issues. Otherwise, regions are going on at their own pace. I'm for that. But for me, is that I'm not going to do that in a way that I'm carrying arms against Nigeria. And people need to understand there's a difference between Nigeria and whoever and administration. Nigeria is Nigeria. That's not an administration. People tend to think administration is Nigeria. So we're like, oh, leave the country. If you say Tinubu is not your president. No, what the hell? Nigeria is a country on its own that is very irrespective of who this person is, who is an impostor out there. So let's begin to find what works for us. I've even advocated for, we need to have a Nigerian conversation. We've not had that. Nigeria was put together in 1914. That's about 109 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And we need to sit down again and ask ourselves, do we want to stay together? Is this thing really working, or it is not working? So if we have enough of those, get people in and keep going. But one of the things I'll say to people, don't give up. Here there are some people who feel right now they won't be able to do anything. It's okay. When you take time off, but come back. Whatever it is, this is the time to go harder. This is the time to get to work. This is the time to go to continue to go. On the issue of Peter Obi, I think after some hours after the judgment, he did call me, and I will tell you from the conversation, he's very optimistic. Even when he was talking about, like, I'll say, be that he's very, very optimistic. For him, it's about Nigeria. It's not about, you understand, it's not about just election or this election or whatever. He's going to come in and he's going to give his own statement, so you'll be able to hear that. But I can tell you that he is he's very on about the Nigerian project, about how do we get the people to be able to experience that good governance and everything. And he's someone who is he's tenacious, he's strong. I've talked about he's a responsible leader. There's a video that I did the other day where I talked about the fact that when people are saying, oh, he has not called for protest, he's not. No, he's not. He's a responsible leader who is always like, he would be the one to put himself on the line, not put any other person on the line or whatever. But that is not stopping anybody from doing whatever it is that they want to do. But I can tell you that he's very much upbeat. He's very much about Nigeria, and it's very much about we going. The work has just started for us. The work for that Nigeria that works for everybody, not Nigeria that works for a few people, have just started. And I can tell you that I've been in a series of meetings today, and part of the things that is to get all of this going. And also for us, with the 2023 election, it has come to a close. The next thing, like we're doing, putting the accounts together, because we're going to put a statement of accounts. There were monies that were donated by people. All of these things are things that we'll be doing in the coming days.
That's coming out of pressure from people asking, because personally, I don't think that, I know that that's administrative duties, but is that coming out of the fact?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you know who I am, I don't do pressure, but accountability is key. It's a number one thing that has to be done, and that has always been. This is not the first time that I've been in a campaign account. I've done that with Dr. Obi Ezekwesili when she ran in 2019. I was a signatory to her account campaign fundraising, and immediately after the election, when she pulled out, so we came out and did a public this thing of the account. No, it absolutely has nothing to do with pressure, because it's now concluded. All this while, what they didn't realize, for us, the election had not been concluded. So it's just about accountability and transparency. That's the right thing to do. And so those are things that are going to be put out in the next coming days. So I think I've answered the question like I did remember them, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Now you talk about the umpires moving.
Oh yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So the thing. So also relating to the umpire. So part of the problem we have, of course, is the fact that the president, whoever occupies the office of the president of Nigeria, has too much power. And one of the things is that those powers need to be reduced. And you usually need someone who is not selfish to be able to reduce it, because most of the people who get into office, they are selfish, they want to use it for themselves, and then they leave office, they really don't do anything. Where we have is the president that chooses the INEC chairman, INEC commissioner, and all of that. It's not the way it is. But part of the things that we need to do also now is to put pressure on the National Assembly for us to be able to have an amended electoral act also, which some people might say that, okay, the illegitimate president we have, the illegitimate person occupying that office, impostor we have in office right now, might not sign it if it is done, but the National Assembly has a power to veto anything that that any president doesn't give assent to. And why am I saying this? We need to get to a place where INEC, the burden of proof should be on INEC, not on petitioner, because INEC is the umpire that was given the money to do the election, collects our billions of naira, and then they do a shoddy job, and then when they are even told to bring, even when the court ordered them, like what we saw with the appeal court, with the presidential election petition tribunal, when INEC were told to bring out their documents, bring out the things, they didn't. And so the court will come out to blame the petitioner, because what we have right now in the law is that the petitioner, the burden of proof is on the petitioner to prove that the election wasn't done very well. It's INEC that is supposed to have that. So if you're able to have that change of law where INEC is forced to do that, and then they bring in the materials they use, that sort of like put more pressure on INEC to do the right thing. But what I would say, and is that, look, we can do this thing politically. It might look very hard. One of the things I always say to people when people are looking for revolution and all of that is that all of those things look romantic. Arab Spring, you're on the streets, you're doing, they might look romantic. At the end of the day, to what extent? You do all of that, and then who comes in, who is there? Even if you don't do that, you can little by little fight this thing. It's about sitting there, it's about being dogged, it's about not giving up, it's about being tenacious, it's about just chipping away. You know how mosquito will be on you, in your ear, even as big as you are, that mosquito, because they are not giving up, they are persistent. They will send you, they will do more to you than somebody who maybe is your side if the person was trying to fight you or something like that. So it's that persistence. So we continue to do that little by little by little. Like I had said earlier on, the key also is to get as many people as we can into the National Assembly, people with competence, character, capacity, people that are not thinking about the 100 and something million naira that we get for vehicle, people that we behave in an ethical manner and think about the country and think about what kind of legacy are they going to leave behind, rather than how much billions are they going to get for themselves. I think as we go on, we'll be able to get that. Thank you so much. Mohammed, go ahead, please.
Okay, well, thank you. I heard what you guys were saying earlier. So I understand that many of us are, like many people are disappointed about the recent election results. So actually, the result has been said, so we just have to move on. So there are some things that we have to take it forward for, constructively forward, to take us constructively forward. We have to stay engaged, the first one. We have to stay engaged in the politics, stay engaged in the participating in the future, in the near future. And advocating for change again. If you are passionate about specific issues, you have to use all your energy to advocate for change. Engage in peaceful protest, organize grassroots effort, like what Aisha have said earlier. Is it about water, or you're going to reduce? We are going to take it slowly, I think, to
clean dirty water. You keep using clean water and reducing the dirty water. Over time, it will become clean.
Yes. And we have to again, we have to be participating in the politics again, so that we don't have to stay loose. Because I heard some people saying that they are tired, they are done, Tinubu is not their president, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's all a valid perspective in my own view, the way I see it. In a democracy, different opinions and preferences are common. So we just have, however, it's important to remember that the president represents the entire nation, and their policies and decisions impact all citizens, regardless of who holds office, or we can collectively work toward a better future by staying engaged, maybe, I think, in the political process. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Definitely staying engaged is part of the way to go. Being disengaged is not going to help anyone do anything. And I think also one of the things I forgot to answer to everything, Natoshi, I think that's the name.
Excuse me.
Okay, go ahead.
For me now, I've contested for a state house of assembly. This just recent election.
Yeah.
So even though I lost the election, that doesn't mean that I've stayed in a just in a sideways so that things will be moving without me. So I have to like engage myself for the future of 2027 election, because if you don't engage yourself, all the knowledge you gather in this 2023 general election, it will be waste. So you have to like engage yourself. So for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's well done, and that's quite great hearing that you did run also. So very important. Engagement, participation is very important. I think one of the things also, like I was saying, I forgot to mention earlier when I was answering some of the questions that everything had asked me, is the fact that citizens need to participate in politics. One of the things that has happened is that we left politics to charlatans. So people were told, oh, politics is for it's a dirty game. We'll clean it. Let's go in there and clean it. Oh, politics is for, like, for myself, I'm from Edo State. Some people will tell you that if you are not a court member or if you are not a 419, you cannot do politics. No, good people must begin to go in there and do politics. I'm not saying that I'm a good person, but I'm just saying good people need to go in there. People with second jobs need to go into politics. What we have also in the political space is that it's a lot of hungry people who, for them, that's their primary source of income. So whether they are doing what's that thing they do, party primaries and all of that, is who can pay the most, who can give out the most money. For some people, just the fact that somebody is good, when they do meetings, they give a mineral and they give biscuit, is the reason why they are in political parties, why they have their party tickets. And so when they go in, they're going to have seafood and eat. And so when these kind of people are the ones who are in charge of making decision, of producing the people that you eventually vote for. So it's very important for people to actually pick party tickets, pick those tickets, be part of the primaries that bring in all of these candidates, so that we don't have people who are easily influenced by money be the ones who are in charge of bringing up candidates that will eventually vote for. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we don't have independent candidacy, so people who are running for office must run under parties. And if you're not participating, if you're not registering in parties and being part of parties and participating in all of these primaries, you don't get to have the best candidate come out. Because most of the problem we have in Nigeria is that most of the parties, they don't want competent candidates to come out, because if competent candidates emerge, then they will not have room for the corruption and all the things that they do. So yeah, thank you for that. It's very important that people do stay engaged and in the process. And of course, for also people who want to, either like you now, Mohammed, that had run for office, or people who want to run for office, another thing also could be like this this thing, like a kind of body system. Be part of the National Assembly, be part of the state houses of assembly, learn on how things are being done. Because one of the things that people don't do, there is School of Politics, Policy and Governance that is going to, it's a very great school where you can learn a lot. One of the things that people don't do is they don't learn how to be leaders. They don't learn what are the things to be done. There's a difference between you want to do something right and knowing how to do it right. And I think it's very important that the era where people just wake up because they have so much money, or they have some godfather somewhere, they will now just go in and run for office, and then they get into office, they really can't do anything. People need to put in that effort, learn about this thing, learn about public policy, learn about economics, learn about governance, learn about what are the things that normally would be used, whether you are in the legislative arm or in the executive, and that in a way will be able to help people to be able to give that leadership that they are supposed to give. So I think Madison Peters. Yeah, go ahead, please. Madison Peters.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much, man.
Good evening.
All right, I've been listening and I've been learning so much. It's a day that has been, even though somebody like me, I wasn't expecting anything different from what happened, from the ruling they gave, honestly. But we move.
Yeah, yeah.
In moving, we are not just going to relax. We are not just going to go back and just fold our hands and wait for 2027 or another time. I hear some people saying they are tired, they are not going to this, they are not going to that. In fact, if Peter Obi comes out next time, they will not even answer him. These are people that some of them, this is the first time they are participating in anything election.
Yeah.
And Rome was not built in a day. I want to encourage everybody here, if you participated in one way or the other, don't give up. Keep talking, keep saying what you feel. Any opportunity you have, any platform you have, say your mind, say your opinion, And talking to the opposition now, our leaders in the opposition, I want to beg them, it's not just to go and sit down till it's time to start doing primaries. Opposition is not just about contesting election. Opposition, it's our duty to check the government in power. Sometimes it may even seem like they are not listening, but we'll keep talking. Whatever policy they bring out, if it does not sit well with us, it's our leaders, our political parties, leadership of our party that will come out to release press statements, hold press conference. We don't agree with this, so it's not sitting well with us. So sometimes when we keep shouting like that, people will think they are not listening. I remember when they wanted to postpone the election, the 2019 election, the second time Baba was going. Something happened and they wanted to postpone the election. There are some people that are always on TV shouting. The INEC chairman called them overnight to try to I will not call it explain to them, lie to them, give them reasons why they are postponing the election so that they will not even go out and start shouting. That's to tell you that this shout affects them whether you like it or not. So it's better we keep talking. And some people, another thing I hear people say is, I don't belong to any political party. Me, I just came out because I like PO. I just came out because I believed in this, I believed in that. That's fine. But I want to encourage you, belonging to a political party is also very important.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Nigeria is a multi-party system. And it doesn't have to be PDP, APC, or Labour Party itself. Every political party, they have their own ideologies. And if you look, you can see the one that fits what you believe in. And if you join them, you try to participate. Like I tell people, if you join ADC, for example, if INEC is calling chairman, okay, and you do their neck and you contest and you become chairman, for example, or financial secretary or woman leader, if INEC is calling meeting of women leader, both you that you are in ADC and the person that is in APC, you people will be in the same room. If they are chairman of political parties, they will not say because PDP, APC, Labour, they are big, they should stay here. These other parties should stay there. You people will deliberate on the same things. So participation is very, very key. Participation is very, very key. So I want to encourage everybody that can look for a political party that matches your ideology. If it's not APC, if it's not PDP, if it's not Labour, just go somewhere and try to make your voice heard. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Madison. Thank you so much for your words. Yeah, which is so true. Nigeria is a multi-party country. Need to find their place, and we need to be there. We need to, because at the end of the day, it is these parties that will bring up candidates. If you are not there at the beginning to ensure you're part of the process that bring in the most credible of candidates, then it's going to then people are just having to be choosing anyhow between all sorts of candidates. I've always said that, look, all the parties, they have credible people, but most times they don't put the credible people forward. They put in the people that they know they can control and do all sorts of things. Bossman, I don't think you've spoken, so I'm taking people who have not spoken before. So Bossman, I think it's your turn now, except if you've spoken before, but I don't think you have. After that, we have Joe Paul. But Joe Paul, go ahead. I don't think Bossman is here.
Okay, my very own sister and idol of activism and everything that is right about a woman in Nigeria.
Hey, not let my head come the bingo. Better they criticize me so that me I dey humble.
Nothing they make your head big in this life, because you have seen wealth, you have seen poverty, you have seen struggle, you have seen opportunities to even never step your foot in this country again, and you will be very happy. But yet, you deny yourself of all these advantages, and yet you are with us and saying that until we get results. So, you have, see, let me tell you, I've said this severally in forums, that Aisha Yesufu is a lady that I've seen that has conquered greed, that has conquered even religion and ethnicity. And if you want me to explain that, I can explain.
No, let's explain now. Okay. Let's the hair. Thank you so much for your kind words. Let's talk Nigeria.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for what you do, for what you have been doing. You are a model to the female gender all over this country. And I am a teacher in the university, and when you want to talk about women, that young girls who want to aspire, for those that are still right thinking anyway, they want to be like you, they want to be like Obese Kosile, they want to be like Dorakoyele, they want to be like the World Trade Center chairwoman, Okonjo Iweala, and the likes of that. So I must tell you that the impact you have created has put your name in the sign of history. Well, I want to appreciate you for what you have been doing during the campaign. We actually met in Calabar during the campaign. When you addressed the traditional rulers in Cross River State, that was even where it was in that hall that we exchanged contact. I was seated close to you, the next seat from me. I have been in PDP since 2003 actively till we saw that we cannot continue to destroy a system because of our personal gratifications and aggrandizement. And when PO left PDP, in fact, before they went for the primaries, because I didn't leave immediately, PO left. When they were going for the primaries, I told my state leaders that if a northerner finally emerged as a candidate of PDP in the presidential primaries, I am done with PDP. Because we cannot be lopsided in this country anymore. And it happened that Atiku picks the ticket, and I left them and aligned with the obedient movement. And I thank God I was in the electoral committee. You know, I was in the polling unit agent committee and all of that. I sat down for
Hello, Osa. I saw you earlier, but I can't see you again. Please come back and do that request. I saw the name Osa before.
So the effort and the tenacity in the obedient movement has been something that needs to be studied. If people want to be successful, you need to understand that people came in with a model that was not pre-written anywhere, and then it was developed on the go. And the success is something that cannot be compared to anything on the surface of earth, even before now, and I don't think there will be any other thing that will come thereafter. And kudos to the likes of you who were part of this, driving this very vehicle, most time at the background, most time at the front burner, and all of that. So now, I would like to ask you some of these questions now, so that you will help me. Number one, don't you think that we deserve a postmortem of those of us that were saddled with responsibilities in the process, that is, before, during, and after the elections, to become accountable for whatever that happened? You have said how you want to do your own part. Is it not important that we do that for everybody, and also to do a proper evaluation of the actions and inactions of each individual that contributed to us not being able to win these elections. That is, for us not to be rigged out, because we won the elections, we were only rigged. And the judiciary put a stamp on the rigging. What can we do? Because until you do an evaluation that is founded in truth, the principle of truth, whereby you don't care, even if it means your life to be taken based on your contributions that are negative to a process. Now, leadership is not about this is a boss, this is that. It's about teamwork. This is the modern principle of leadership and operation now. So, what are the contributions of these individuals? Money, I reached out to you some time ago, up to today. We won an election in Cross River State for the first time that any other party outside PDP has won election in history in Cross River State for another party apart from PDP. We won Cross River State for PO. Yeah. And I tell you, we didn't get funding. We were disconnected up to today. Our polling unit agents in Cross River State, their money didn't reach them. How do we do an evaluation? Because we need truth. We need openness so that we can forge ahead. Like now, we have been talking about the vehicle that carried our collective destiny, which is Labour Party. From your own analysis, my question number 2, do you see the leadership that is from top to bottom of this party as those that contributed also to a lot of our flaws? And why is it that I complained to you that the chairman, the state chairman of Cross River State, was given 30 million for that campaign rally you came for, and we didn't see a dime? I forwarded some pictures to your phone of how people that came from the four corners of the state had to vandalize the state secretariat of Labour Party because the man just vanished. Immediately people boarded the flight and left. This man vanished. And didn't come back till after 14 days with a lot of cook and book stories. All the report I wrote to the National Exec Working Committee and all of that, nobody replied to me or said anything. Don't you think that some of these leaders need to give way? When are we calling for a Congress? What is our plan as the obedient movement to get involved? Because we need to first of all get involved in the leadership structure and sanitizing of the party before we can talk of sending credible people to the National Assemblies. Because the process of screening and giving ticket was marred with irregularities, and those the highest leaders got most of this thing. That is why we have these reps and senators we elected that are almost doing nothing. So, how can we address the issue of internal leadership and external infiltration by other parties? What can we do? I have experience, but my person will not, from the way the party looks now, they will not want me to come and say, oh, this small boy, this young boy, I'm not even too small anyway, I'm 43, Can people that are technocrat, that are experienced, regardless of their status, with prefix or suffix to their name, can they be brought in to restructure this party, be involved in the party, the committees that will conduct the congresses across this country? Finally, I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate Bill through you, because I know that what I'm saying here will get to him. That he has proven to be a man that has conquered greed. And that is what made him to stand out in the whole of this geographical location called Nigeria as a point. And I want to appreciate you now. Religion does not control you, you control religion. And that is why I keep telling people that everything that was created after man was created for man, not man created for those things. Religion was an aftermath of creation. And you have proven to be somebody that you don't see a religion as an end, but a means to an end. I want to thank you. And I want to appeal to us that if we want to do better things, we have taken a chunk of the conquered environment of Nigeria. If we stick together, if we remain together, and first of all, sanitize the house, our own in-house, point out to people, look straight to their faces, regardless of their status or whoever they are, the family they came from, and say, you contributed, you did this during this thing, and we now do a reconciliation. People should be able to do reparation, and then we structure the party.
Okay.
And then begin to go down. As I'm talking to you, around 1,000 Labour Party card I bought for 100,000 from the National Secretariat. I have made and listen to me in Cross River State that were obedient to become card-carrying members. This is what I have been doing. This is the second batch that I have gotten in Cross River.
Okay.
Make sure that, yes, let us have members. These are my small actions. I am taking actions already.
Yeah.
What is the actions every other person that is talking, that have been talking and talking? What are their actions?
Okay,
So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you so much for the actions that you're also taking. That's really the most important thing. Act. What are we doing? And one of the most important thing that it's very important for every one of us to always ask ourselves, what are the things that we are doing? It's not about this should be done, this should be done, but like you said, these are the things you're doing. So every one of us should also ask ourselves, what are those things that we are doing? I think I'm going to start from the bottom of the questions that you've raised. And I think one of the things that every one of us has to understand is that Labour Party was like a football team that was in the Nigerian League, jejely playing its Nigerian League football amongst Kano Pillars, Yumba. Please, so don't crucify me. I'm just mentioning them because those ones are the Nigerian this thing. And then all of a sudden, they were picked and they were yanked into the Champions League, where they were now having to play with the Man U of the world, the Barcelona, the Real Madrid, and all of that. I'm just using this example for us to see. So definitely, they won't be able to perform the way you would have wanted them to. There will be a lot of, the citizens who yanked them to that position to be able to support them. So that's part of the things that we saw with that whole election. And Nigeria, like I've said earlier, Nigeria being a country where there is no independent candidacy. If there was actually an independent candidacy, would have done a whole lot better with Peter Obi being an independent candidate than being under a party. But unfortunately, our constitution does not allow independent candidacy. So of course, yeah, he had to run. So in terms of the question you're asking, do I think the leadership is enough to be able to continue? For everything, there's a need for growth. And that growth is very much needed. But for you to be able to get that growth, people have to register, people have to be part of that part of the party. If you're looking for situations whereby we want more technocrats in there, we want more, and this not to say, and that's always the fear also for some of the people in the party who are feeling, oh, they're going to come and drive us away and take this thing away. It's just in trying to enhance and build an institution to be better. Be it party, be it a nation, be it an organization, what you do is that you must put your best foot forward. And leadership is not about saying, oh, I have to be the one to do it. It's about saying, who is the person that is best fit to do the job? There are a lot of things that I knew I wasn't best to do them. And what I would do, get the people who are the best to do them. Yeah, continue and do the work. Because at the end of the day, what we want to see is the result that is going to happen. So that's one of the key things that needs to be done in terms of the party. If Labour Party is that vehicle that we all have to continue with, then there is a need for people to get in there and for the best people to be in the helms of affair. And there has to be a whole rejig of the things that are going to coming from the constitution itself, coming from the things, because it has to be better. It can't be one of the other parties that are in Nigeria. It has to set itself aside right from the fact that, look, make it a place where young people are welcome, where women are welcome, where it's a kind of party that is geared towards taking Nigeria to the place that it's supposed to be, not just a party that is geared towards just having people every 4 years they come together and think about what largesse are they going to share, what are the monies they are going to make from primaries or monies they are going to make from sales of forms and all of that. But beyond knowing this is a party with its ideology and how it's going to take the nation forward. So that absolutely, I totally agree with you. That needs to be done, but that cannot be done if a critical number of people don't get to join the party. Because even if you say you're talking about leadership, it's all about voting. And if you go in there and you don't have enough people, it's the same set of people that will vote for themselves, because people are more used to doing what is familiar to them rather than changing and getting something else from there. So that's on one part of the question. On the other part of postmortem, absolutely, yes, there's a need for one, and it's part of the things that are in discussion. Right now, what you have with the whole legal affairs that were being done, the whole legal wahala and brouhaha and all of that. So it took a lot of effort. It took a lot of time, effort, money, everything being focused on it. And now that the Supreme Court has come out to entrench the criminality that happened, it's to move on to other things. That's okay. What are those things that need to be done? There is a need to come together. There is a need to be able to say what could have been done to be able to get no, not even what could have been done. What is it to mitigate the rigging? The next rigging. What can be done to mitigate rigging? What can be done to mitigate violence? What can be done to ensure free, fair, credible election? What can be done to ensure the mandate of the people is actually what is given? Whoever the people want to vote for, let them vote for the person, but let it be that it's the mandate of the people that is actually being seen. So that's very critical. In terms of polling unit agents, and I'll tell you what happened with the polling unit agents. There were a lot of polling unit agents that had been put across the country, and one of the problems that we had also was that different groups of people were just getting their own different polling unit agents, expecting that somebody was going to bring monies for them and all of that. So, and there's a particular group that said they had 40,000 polling unit agents that they had put together. And when it was signed, they were like, these payments had to be made. Like, okay, fine. Who is going to make these payments? 40,000 people at 10,000 naira, that's 400 million naira. So it's not small money that you're going to say, somebody was going to bring this thing up. Arrangement had been made for 10,000 naira to be put together for the polling unit agents. Peter Obi made that arrangement. We had about 130 something thousand people and polling unit agents, and he had put the money in the accounts that were supposed to disburse. And on that day, coming to disbursement, we're like, okay, let's get these people. We sent what do you call it now? What's this thing? Bulk SMS. Sent bulk SMS to all the 130 something thousand people and said, you are our agent, bring your details and this thing. Some sent some didn't. And most of the things where people came and said, oh, they're part of this agent, I said to them, look, for us, you have to be the INEC agent, INEC official agent. And I've explained this to a lot of people that kept, calling me and saying, or to say, it has to be the INEC, those on that list. It's not that, oh, some group put agents together and then you say, oh, like we had with that other group that said they had 40,000 agents. Even at the end of the day, we said, okay, fine, you have 40,000 agents, no problem. We are going to, PO agreed on the fact that let's go ahead, we are going to pay you guys, but bring the sheets that you had for this 14, and they didn't have those ones. So how are you expecting to give you money when you didn't have? So what was the work that you did? You understand? So there were a lot of issues, and that come also from the issue of the party that you talked about. You for example, there were instances I got a lot of flack where people were like, oh, Aisha Yesufu refused to send this. So I'm not sending money to anybody. Under my watch, one kobo no go miss. I craze. All those praises where you do, as you see me like this, and they tell people I know normal, I go fight you. I don't fear anybody. One of the things I always like, things must be done the right way, because we had a situation about, okay, people and I say, oh, send this money, bulk name, send this bulk money. I was like, okay, why am I sending you money? Send me the names of the agent. They need to reply. And then we're like, oh no, in politics, you don't ask too many questions, just send money to some people, they'll be the ones to disperse. Like, no, not under my watch. Accountability, for me, accountability is everything. For the people that worked on the different teams that we worked on, they know. I'm sure some of them were sick and tired of me accepting that. I always say to them, I say, look, everything, we must not only be accountable, we must be seen to be accountable. Everything must follow the due process as it is, even when it is a pain in the butt, even when there's an easier way that you can do it to make it faster. I say no, we must follow that process. So when people are like, so a lot of people who are saying, okay, they've not paid them, they've not paid agent, I'm like, no, if your name was on that list, you got an alert, except if the number was not there. I saw someone who said, there was someone who said to me, hey, Aisha, you just sit down in Abuja, how are you going to know somebody who is in Sokoto that is an agent, or somebody who is in one other village that, and I said, through their phone number now. They were phone number. We are in a modern society. I said, even payment, we can pay people with phone number. I said, through phone number. That was how we sent bulk SMS. I think we deployed, was it $1 million or thereabout to send? Because that SMS, we sent it the day before the election. So we couldn't even negotiate the price. We were just like, okay, just send these messages to them. Let us know that people got those bulk SMS. Some of them did reply. Then somebody was not saying to me, but you know that some of these agents cannot read and write. I said, if the agent cannot read and write, how is that person our agent? How are they going to know what results they are going to put, or they are going to change results, or whatever? But like you rightly said, Joe Paul, these are some of the shenanigans that go on in the normal, like sort of like politics. They all assume they do it, but like, no, we are not going to do that kind of politics. We're going to do politics that is accountable. Politics of accountability. And that's why when Adebisi was speaking earlier, I told him that yes, we don't know how to do that politics of criminality. We have to do politics that is accountable, that can be a pain in the butt, but you have to do the right thing the way it is. And as of this thing, I stopped. And I remember my husband was like, oh, let them not come and say that, oh, it's because of you that the election, this, blah, blah, blah. And later on, I spoke to PO, like, we had to stop. But I can assure you that all the states, still monies were sent to them, were sent to do those whole things. So you need to find out which of the agents are those. Is it the agents on the INEC list, or they are agents that were put together by organization? Of course, when we come towards when you're putting out the statement of account, these are some of the things that we are going to discuss. Yes, there needs to be a postmortem. There needs to be sitting down. Every one of us, every day is a learning thing. This is the first, for some people, this is the first time that they have had to be part of politics and all of that, for some, or organization or anything. For some people, it's been on for a while. But one of the things that is very important is that we can never become the kind of people we want to replace. I know a lot of people feel, oh, that's the way they do politics, that's the way you should do. No, absolutely not. That's not the way that politics is going to be done. Hello, Nedu. Go ahead, Nedu. It's your turn to speak.
I don't know whether I would have lost it.
Huh?
I wanted to ask for one or two further clarification. I don't know.
So because I'm giving one person, so we're not coming, but because you've spoken before, there are a lot of people on the queue that have not spoken. So maybe since you have this thing, you either send me a message or you send me an email. Aisha Yesufu at gmail.com. That's my email address, so that we take it on. Because what I've been doing is that we just speak once. So if I come back to you now, then I have to give other people. There are people who are speaking before that have been raising their hands. But I just want people who haven't spoken. Yeah, so go on. No, go onto my email. Go onto my email and continue the conversation, so that, because if I give you the chance to speak now, then I have to give other people who have spoken before, who have been asking to speak, that I have not given. Nedu, go ahead, please.
No, I said just follow me so that I can access you too.
That's what I give. Yeah, send an email to me. That's the best way. I might not see. Send an email. My name at gmail.com. Aisha Yesufu at gmail.com. Yeah, go ahead, Nedu.
Hello, Aisha. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So this is my first time coming at your space, and then luckily for me, getting the opportunity to speak in your space. I want to begin by sending you a shout out, because I think over the past, I would say half a decade now in Nigeria, you have been one of the consistent and female voices in that Nigeria and the country. Because I don't think anybody who is of age and then experience or exposure in Nigeria would say that he doesn't know anybody called Aisha Yesufu. My dad told me, some 2-3 years ago, that he is one of your fans. He always listens to your YouTube podcast. I've never heard him speak on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So
thank you.
A shout out to you.
No, I said thank you.
Yeah, I'll say a big thank you to you, and then how much you have been able to put out your feet in getting a good Nigeria. Having said that, I want to say this to you, and then I want to get your response. It's not going to be very palatable, but then they say we should always say the truth. What will you say, or how will you respond if I say to you that I feel very bad about this outcome, and I blame this outcome on P2B? I will ask you a response, or maybe I'll just give you my reasons, and I will tell you what I think, we should do. Because why I expect blame this on P2B is this, and P2B is some guy, that I probably do not know him much as you do, but I know him, and he has lived his entire life as a very reputable person, both inside and outside. Like, it's not just even down to his private room. He's very reputable, has the character, has the conviction. I've not been in Nigeria for about 5 years now, and I said to someone, as far as I'm concerned, I was done with Nigeria, and I was never even going to come to Nigeria for another 10 years. But I came back to Twitter and I'm like, oh, if there is some guy that's going to fix Nigeria, all the 200 million of Nigerians, it's P2B. And fortunately for P2B, very fortunately for PDF, we had the 2 weakest presidential candidates in the history of Nigeria. Believe it or not, Tinubu is the weakest. When I mean weakest, there was something you said when you said that the politicians are as much as a kind of very scared of the people. And there is no politician that's as scared as the people, like Tinubu. Because this guy, unlike Buhari won his election, even though there may be regions here and there, but he was credible at his time. He won his election. He had 2 regions locked down for him, that's Northeast and Northwest. He was an ex-military general, and a very high-ranking ex-military general. like one of the highest ranking. So it's not going to be easy to remove that kind of guy. But none of these credentials speaks for Tinubu, you know. What I was expecting from POB, I am one of the big persons that believe that after the election, POB should have called for a protest. The protest will be called. I know even if you are Aisha, you are the one leading this regime, so leading this pack of obedience, you would have called for that protest. And there is something that protest would have achieved. If, assuming we went on protest and they called Nigerian police authority to more loss down, it would have sent a signal that do not mess with us. What is more important in any society in the world, even if it's in America, the UK, Germany, France, anywhere in the world, is the institution of consequences. That if you do this, this is the consequence. Once nobody sees consequence today, there's no world war coming, is that every nuclear power knows that if you bomb somebody, you're going to be obliterated. So when people do removed that consequence from public view, from the judicial view, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. So when people do remove that consequence, there is no religion here, there is no Christianity, there is no spirituality here. The moment a judge is sitting down in his office, and he's saying that if I take 100 million naira from this committee or whoever, and I can trample down justice and nothing is going to happen, believe it's already a done deal. So Obi should have started sending the signal, even if he wasn't going to do anything, even if you're not going to put it, but do not mess with us. And there is only one president who could have achieved that, and that was Tinubu, because this man did not win. Even his people, the Yorubas, are not supporting him. He doesn't have the.
So let me just ask. Hello, Nick.
I'm about wrap up. Give me 1 minute. Okay, but let me say this thing to you. We cannot remove Tinubu by election. We cannot be right. Let's not deceive ourselves. Nothing is going to come out of it. Because if anybody told me even this morning the Supreme Court was going to uphold this judgment, I will bet my bottom dollars that it's not going to happen. So what I want you to pass to people and pass to your leadership is, how do we weaponize? If it requires even going for violence, there are lots of Nigerians outside the country that are ready to sponsor this. How do we weaponize the oncoming, assuming it comes, I hope it comes, FBI release? Because that man cannot continue in power. How do we weaponize that at least this unfolding FBI release? Because this FBI release is going to be a huge advantage on your position. Thank you so much. And then I continue to pray that God will give you the strength to continue to be on the right path. Thank you. I yield.
Amen. So before you go, I needed to get a clarification before I answer the question that you had put forth. Is to say, at what point did you think Peter Obi was supposed to have called for protest, that he didn't call for protest, that you feel all this was his fault? So let me know where to take it off from.
Immediately after the election.
Okay, immediately after election.
Immediately after the election, or just let me say, immediately after the election or after swearing. The problem is this, Aisha. Peter was giving a lot of signal of malleability, somebody who is on appeasement. His signal was very bad. You should be giving signal, just like you, Aisha. You give out signal as an eye for an eye. Even though that may not be your kind of person, but it's very good to put your opponents in check.
Okay, thank you so much. So let me just take this on from one of the things that I always ask people is that whatever you want to do, even protest, and I'll say this thing. There were people, I see a lot of people who come out today and say, oh, people are being called for protest. There were people who were protesting on the streets, right? And if people wanted to join them, they could have joined them. That could have been done. One of the things I always ask people, like when they say, okay, you want to protest, or like, what do you want to achieve? To what end? What are you going to do? In terms of when you're going into the fight, the worst thing that you're going to do is to take on a fight at a place where someone is stronger than you, right? And we talk about, for example, there are people who feel, oh, Peter Obi should have done some of the things that Tinubu did, or like you just alluded to, oh, violence. But then, is violence okay because it will benefit us? then we'll be no different from those people. If Peter Obi is going to use violence to get into office, then I can assure you that Peter Obi wouldn't do better than any of those people who have used violence to get in there. There is a thing about no matter how hard it is, no matter how bad it is, to stay on the path of doing the right thing is the most difficult decision you're ever going to make. And the moment you cross, so there's a good and a bad somewhere, and in between it, there's in between shades of gray. The moment you cross from that place of being on the right side of history, on the good side, and say, oh, because I want to get this thing, let me cross over to that other side and instigate this thing and get there, then you've compromised your everything, right from your soul, from your body, from your everything. You've tainted it and you become one of them. There are many people who had gone into politics, good people, everything. They got to that place where it came to, do we use everything we can? Do we use violence or whatever to be able to achieve this thing? Meaning, oh, the end, the means justifies the end. And then when they cross it, it will no longer be different. Peter Obi is not different because he's a special human being that has a special DNA. No. It's because he has been able to discipline himself, and no matter how hard it is, to stay on the path of doing the right thing, right? So that's one. Monopoly of violence. Nobody has monopoly of violence. And I keep saying to people, the easiest thing to do is to activate violence. It's the easiest thing to do. But it is the most heinous, the most illegitimate, and the most criminal thing to do. It is more difficult when you want to do things on the right way. Even when it comes to, you see, that's why you see people will go and do Yahoo, do all sorts of criminal activities, and they are laughing at the person who is making honest living and doing things like that. Even business in Nigeria is very difficult just by you standing and saying, I want to do the right thing. I've had people who come to my warehouse, oh, we want to buy so amount of this, but give us a receipt. So that I'm like, sorry, I don't do that. I will not give you receipt for you to go and put your price. I can give you my receipts. You can go and do your receipt and sell to them at another price. So these are some of the things. So we must be mindful. We must be careful. Are we against what is happening now because it's not our own that is in charge? Or we are against what is happening now because it is wrong? We must ask ourselves those difficult questions. So when you call that, okay, he should have, after the election, there were actually people who protested. There's never a time that people were not on the streets. There were people who were sorry. And if you feel that, oh, Peter Obi should have, like I've seen someone who said, oh, if it was someone else, he would have led that. Led to what? If there's any one person who, he might not have said it, but in terms of the action that he lead, will not allow anybody to be hurt because of him, I can assure you that it's Peter Obi. And I think in a video that I did the other day, I put it where I said, there's a video I did on my YouTube page where I said, oh, people who are asking why didn't Peter Obi protest? Because he's a responsible leader. He's not going to call people to be on the street when you have animals in position that are going to turn their guns just to say, oh, so and so people were killed. The other kind of protest that people are looking for is not the protest that anybody is going to call. It's the protest that people will wake up and on their own, they will be on the streets. And I can tell you, don't worry, even the people who are supporting, they are the ones that will be on the streets because they are the ones that the hunger and everything we get to most. So we have to be careful about that. Oh, he should have, because there are so many people who believed in him, who whatever he said, we're going to be there. And then people just expect, then he should have called them and used them and put them out there. Very definitely, the times, he's not going to be there all the time. He calls for protest, he's not going to be there all the time. Maybe the time they are there, they will not do anything. By the time he goes away, they're going to go after one thing or the other. But what I'm saying is that Nigerians, whoever wants to, will be the ones to do any of those things. And he didn't ask anyone not to be on the streets if they wanted to be on the streets, but people waiting for him to be the one to call for, he will not do that. And I can tell, except from the little time that I've known him, except if it's not that person that I've known him. And I'll give you guys example. There was a day, myself, I think we spent almost 8 hours back and forth. Why? Because there were some artists that wanted to perform. We had gotten everything ready. The private jet was ready. We got someone, made arrangements for the private jet that would fly them there. Everything that was there. Peter Obi kept saying no. We're so frustrated. These guys want to go and perform. They're going to pull in the crowd. They're going to do this. I did him a memo, sort of like, I think I gave like 8 or 9 reasons. I got one after the other why these people need to be there. And at the end of the day, he said, look, he doesn't want them to be victimized. He was very deliberate about it. Anything where anyone, he said, I'm ready. He's ready. He's not like, oh, I'm going away, I'm looking for someone to. He's ready to put in the work, but he doesn't want anybody to be affected. So anybody thinking that, oh, because there were so many people, supporters, whom if he had said be on the streets are going to be there, and no, I don't. He's not that person. He's not that person that will do everything, even when he going on the wrong side of history or going on the wrong side of the law or doing one thing or the other to get there. No, he's not that person. And from the person that I've known, you don't know anybody 100%. I don't know myself 100%, but from what I've seen of him, because that's one of the things. A lot of things that you say, no, I don't want so. I don't want anybody being victimized. But so a few things that we could have done, quite a number of different such incidences that came up, because he was always protecting whoever. He will protect you first before he asks you to go and protest on his behalf. There are people who they don't care. They're going to see a crowd. They're going to say be there and be. So I'm saying, for what and to whom? The protest that people are looking for, the kind of protest that people are looking for, it's not the protest that will be called for. It's the protest that you will sitting down. People on their own will be on. We will all see ourselves on the other. Bros, you too come out. Sis, you might day here. That's when people. Definitely, it will get there. People will get that way. And it is the most unlikely region that you will think of that will start that thing. Let's keep on going. But this other one, it might look hard, it might look silly, it might look like the thing that what are you even doing? You're just wasting your time. Some people say you're wasting. No. Little by little, you will chip away. You will persistently chip away and saw away at that thing that they have there. By what? By not giving up. And I think for me, that's the part that I will align with. I will never take on violence. It will never be my way. The criminals are the ones who do those kind of things. It's very easy to activate violence. I can tell you, very easy. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up, to break bottle for head, not be small. Now small thing, you understand? But violence is never the way towards achieving something. It might be harder, it might be longer, it might look more frustrating, but doing the right thing, because that is where you have the legitimacy to be able to go in there and do the right thing. A lot of these people that you've seen, all these politicians that have compromised themselves, over the time, what they've had at the end of the day, they've become so compromised that they get in there, their hands are tied, they have a lot of skeletons in their cupboard, they can't do anything. That's why Peter Obi probably said to you, what's that thing he used to say? Go and invest. There's a word he used to use, go and investigate, go and verify. Yes, go and verify. It takes a lot of guts to be able to say that. It takes a lot of things. There are shortcuts that one can follow in life, but you look at it, you just shake your head because you want to be able to stand. That's why, like somebody like me, they hate me like no man's business. They know it. I don't send anybody, Papa. I'll call you out. Because one thing, I don't get anything. They will use all sorts of things. There's no allegation they've not used against me. There's no allegation they've not used. It doesn't stick because there's nothing there to stick. It takes that just focusing on doing the right thing, no matter how difficult it is to do it. And so for people who think, this thing is all because if there was a protest, this thing, was it Buhari? Was it INEC? People actually protested. There were military formation all over that international conference center. I had gone there because before there was that walkout, they had wanted to. I was supposed to go there and replace and be there as one of the Labour Party agents to replace some of the people that one of the persons that was there. And I had gone there before they now staged that walkout that happened. There was a lot of this thing. So it's not about beating yourself. Yes, we will go on. Yes, these people will think they have it on there. I don't think at the end of the day they will be able to continue that whole thing that they go on. So I feel your pain. I feel they do. I do feel that pain, and I know a lot of people also express that line of pain. But one of the things we must understand is that no matter what we do, we must do the right thing. Because if we don't do the right thing, then we become no different from the people that we are trying to change. And no matter, for everything we do, we must ensure that we don't be, no matter how tempting it is to be like them, we must ensure that we don't be the people that we want to change, the people we are advocating against, the people that are doing the wrong thing. And it must not be, we must look at things that whatever is bad, even though it can be of advantage to us, it is still bad. And we must have that guts to be able to look at it and say that it's bad. I know it's painful. I know it's really heartbreaking with all the effort that you guys put into. You guys put in a lot into this election, and that lot has yielded result. What is most important now is not to give up. This is where everyone, and it's not, nobody can tell anybody. It is every one of us going deep down and saying to ourselves, we've come this far. Are we going to allow these people win? It's a bit of a stumbling block, but we can't surmount it. And so everybody must dig deep and continue and say, are we going to let these people win? Are we going to compromise who we are? Are we going to taint ourselves? Are we going to bring in skeletons into our cupboards? Or are we going to continue this thing with our head high, continue? Nobody took this whole movement, nobody took Nigerian cities, nobody took the young people in Nigeria seriously. But see what they were able to do. They shook the foundation of this country in a good way, and let it be what that continues to be, a good way of shaking the foundation of the country, not with whatever means to get there and getting derailed in the process and being like those people that you actually want to change. Yeah. I think
So Aisha, you didn't answer the other question.
Okay, what was the other one?
What are you fixing to do? What are you fixing to do if the FBI does hear the get disclassified and it becomes very detrimental and terrible?
Oh, okay. No, so the one on the FBI, first, I really don't have an answer to that. I don't know what is this thing on the FBI. I really don't have an answer to that. I followed all of that to say, is even the FBI going to release anything? I've not followed it enough to know whether, how is that whole thing. Did the FBI say they're going to release something? Why haven't they released it all this while and stuff like that? But I don't know whether there's anything being done on that. I don't have the answers to that, honestly. Yeah. Thank you. So Benga, so I'm just going to take the request that we have right now, and that would be it. I'll just try to get in. Benga, please go ahead to speak. If Benga is not speaking, Jaden can go on. I'll just try all the people requesting. OD, I think you're on. Hello, OD. Is it?
Good evening, I'm here. Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Very good Nigeria. Madam Aisha, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Anyway, I still like your vibe. I like the fact that you are very active. I want to this today now has now put it to our face that today the electoral process has brought to an end. So what we now have in our hand is to focus on the next cycle, which is coming to 2027, right? So now, but preparing for this, there are activities that happen now, like about the finance, the donations, and the money. Like you said, I followed you up. You said you are not going to give an account until everything has been concluded up to this stage. Here we are now today. So when are we expecting that? It's not as if I am kind of doubting your integrity about this, but it's a good thing to do. because you know what, other people coming behind you, they will emulate this. You are going to set a kind of, you are going to set a good pace for people to follow. Like Obama did it in the US. I think Obama was also crowdfunded. So now this is the project you did with Twitter was also kind of largely crowdfunded. So if you do it, if you let the world know this is how much we gather from people, is how we spend them, and like that. So people will know. Then secondly, you said you always say you are entitled to your own opinion, which is very good, which I have to respect. You said the president is not your president. But in your office now, are you not going to hang the picture of the president in the office?
Nigeria does not have a president. Tinubu did not hire office for me, so why the hell am I hanging his picture in my office?
Well, you have to be careful in it because...
I said, why the hell? Why should I be careful? We are not slaves, we are citizens in this country, or the office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. We should stop thinking as if we are slaves to people voted into office. They are our employees. And this one was not even voted for, he rigged his way into office. So why should I have his picture in my office? As in...
The highest court of the land has affirmed that he is duly elected. So who are you to now say he's not elected?
I am Aisha Yesufu, and I say that he's not my president. He rigged his way into office. So that's the thing. I'm not speaking for you, Benga. So you see, you started with saying that you respect my opinion. Now you are saying, who am I? I'm not saying, did I tell you who is your president? I don't know who your president. You know who your president is. But Aisha Yesufu that is here knows who is not her president. So how are you having a problem with that?
So my sister, let me talk about
No, you can't speak. There are people who haven't spoken. I gave you room to speak. You spoke your mind. There are people who haven't spoken. I'm not going to go by anybody that has spoken before. I'm not going to give that person mic to speak again. Yeah, go ahead, Benga.
So my sister, so like this Nigeria project that we are doing, New Nigeria. So now, how are we going to move the country forward? I think this should be your preoccupation now.
Because you pay my salary, that you are giving me preoccupation.
Because you claim to be a good citizen.
Hold on, Benga. Hold on. I'm not your good citizen. I am my citizen for myself. You be your own citizen. So don't claim where did you see me claim that? I said my name is Aisha Yesufu. Did I say my name is Aisha Citizen Yesufu?
No, but your beautiful ideas, intelligent ideas to the table.
You didn't. You are not paying me to bring beautiful. So let me just come in big. I think this is one of the nonsense that always goes on. Citizens. So first of all, just hold on. I will give you time if you have not finished. Let me go back to the earlier this thing that you made when you were talking about a campaign and that Obama. In 2018, hold on. In 2018, I was part of a campaign process, and I was a signatory to a presidential campaign account, and we raised money. And 2019, when the candidate stepped down, we came out and we gave public account of the statement. So why are you going far to this? We've done it before, but probably you didn't pay attention because you're not ready to pay attention. In this thing, even on my Twitter handle today, I put it in there. Maybe you've not read it. If you go to my Twitter handle, you'll see it. I put it in there that now that the Supreme Court has concluded their thing, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party will come and give the campaign statement of account of the campaign. Yeah? So you probably came in late. It was also something that was mentioned. So when you say, oh, you are not asked, no, it's the right thing for you to ask me. I have to give account. I'm not doing anybody a favor by doing account and giving account. It is what I must do. So it's not anybody asking and demanding for it. That's the right thing to do. Now the campaign, this thing has been concluded with the Supreme Court, so that has to be done. But the thing also, so for me to break it down to you, is that the candidate will give that account. So I being a signatory, nobody paid money, and let me put it here because I saw a lot of people talking nonsense. Nobody paid money into Aisha Yesufu's account. And any human being, any Nigeria, whether dead or alive, spirit or whatever, let him dare come out and say they gave Aisha Yesufu a kobo. I don't joke with I have a big mouth, and my big mouth, I like it more than money. You understand? That's why any politician, I feel, look, any politician, they don't even fear me. That one, they know that one, because I don't do any of those things. Nobody paid money to Aisha Yesufu. Nobody paid money to Aisha Yesufu's account. Nobody gave Aisha Yesufu. There are people, and oh, please take it and help her. I said no. In short, there were even people. There was someone who said he was going to report me to Peter Obi, and actually reported me to Peter Obi, because he said I wouldn't collect money. He even, where I was sitting there, he dropped the money. I followed him to his car and dropped it to him. You understand? So anybody, no Nigerian, we say they gave one Aisha Yesufu a kobo. Never. Everybody was directed, go and put it in the campaign account. I asked for donation on behalf of Peter Obi into his campaign account. So it is Peter Obi's campaign account, not Aisha Yesufu's campaign account. Maybe when I'm running for office one day, I will come and do campaign. So we've discussed this before. He's going to do that. The accountants are putting everything together to bring the whole statement of account till date. So you asking for that's the right thing to do. That's what needs to be done, and that has to be done. So this is not the first time, no, it has to be done, and definitely that's going to be done. So go ahead and round up.
Thank you for the assurance. Another thing, I always follow you. I like your style of doing things. You are the type that you like process. You said you value the process that that results that produces an outcome more than the outcome, right? So this account giving now that you want to do now, we have to also be concerned about the process. Mm-hmm. Then having said that means if we involve the service of independent auditor. Oh,
that would be great. Fantastic.
It's not going to be out of place.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, go ahead. It's okay.
To avoid conflict of interest, to avoid all these, stories. So at least this will save you too. I like you.
Benga, I'm not looking to be saved. I don't know why you are needing to give me that assurance. I'm not needing to be saved. If there's anything Aisha has done, bring it out in the open. Even me, I will help you drag myself. So don't be. I say you're coming. Oh no, feel free. You want to? You will save me a lot of money by even bringing in independent this thing. The accounts will be there. Get them ready. Everything will be there. Accounts, everything, how they were done. It will be done. No problem. Right, look forward to that. Right. Get us. Okay. Yeah.
Then so this president, you have to respect our office. I mean, you are a mother. At least you carry Nigerian passport. When are you going to destroy your Nigerian passport? If you say our president, whose signature is on your passport that you carry, proudly you've traveled almost to big countries in the world. So how do you, going forward now, how do you intend to travel? When you now say our president is not your president, are you going to remove his name from the passport?
Mega, can I ask you a very foolish question?
Ask me any question, I will answer you.
Okay, do you have a Nigerian passport?
I do.
So Tinubu's signature is on it?
At this moment, the signature has changed to Tinubu. Anybody, the name is not direct. It's president. Anybody at the president.
Benga. You said the signature has changed to it. So if you open it now, the signature and change to Tinubu's.
Officially, in principle, the signature has changed to President Bola Tinubu. Anybody coming on board tomorrow, the signature will change to that person's signature. That is it. Anywhere in the world, that is the practice. You know this. So now, if you want to be sincere that our president is not your president, then your passport, let us see you on national TV. Destroy your passport.
Okay, are you done? Because there are people on the line, so that I will reply. Or are you done?
So if you cannot do this, my good sister Aisha, please, I will be happy if you refrain from saying our good president is not your president. If you cannot destroy your Nigerian passport, your driver's license, all paraphernalia of the government, if you cannot destroy them, then you are still bound. You are still under our president.
Are you done?
Yeah, that's my submission.
Okay.
I look forward to you doing that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So just in reply to you, Benga, is that you are not a slave, you are a citizen, and that there is a difference between administration and a government. You understand? Nigerian government is in continuum, administration, whatever. And Tinubu is not my president. He's an illegitimate person. So don't speak. I've given you room to speak. So kindly mute your this thing now. I gave you room to
How can you respect a president who did not respect the process to become president?
Yeah. So I'm gonna come to you, Mark. Let me just finish it. So Benga, so I will repeat to you, you are not a slave. Remove that mindset. This is not 17 something when they sold people off into slavery. You are a citizen. And the office of the citizen that you, Benga, occupy is the highest office in the land. The office of the president that Tinubu has rigged his way into, that he's illegitimately occupying, is the highest. Is the highest political office in the land. So your office of the citizen is higher than that of Tinubu. Tinubu rigged his way into office. If he knew he was a citizen with a country, he would have allowed the process to be. If the process had brought him in, then whatever that the will of the people has to be respected. But for a criminal, there is nowhere, no matter how people want it to be done, for criminals to be taken on. On the issue of the Nigerian passport, you having a signature there. Let me tell you, Tinubu will be the one.
Signature on a passport.
Are you sure? I'm just like, I don't know where that is coming from. But the thing, let me tell you.
I have one. There is none.
Yeah. So let me tell you something, Benga. Tinubu will be the one to tear his Nigerian passport and go and take his Guinean passport. You understand? Aisha Yesufu. I am Aisha Yesufu, the wife of Aliyu Yesufu, daughter of Ahmed Tijani Mohammed and Zainab Mohammed. I am also the granddaughter of Kwame Benomo and the granddaughter of Aoya Hamo. I am also of the ORA family. You understand? If you want my lineage, I can take you back to how many generations there. I am not an unknown person. I am in Nigeria where I'm from the Kukuruku Empire. I have my certificates from the schools that I finished from BUK to ABU to BUK Staff Secondary School to Kauraboje Primary School to everything. So I am a citizen of Nigeria. So the person that is going to destroy their passport is the person who has a Guinean passport, and we take that on. So I've given you space to speak. You finish speaking. ABU, please go verify. I have a master's in pharmaceutical microbiology in the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Working there any day. Go and ask them to verify. Go and ask them. If you Google.
How do I ask if I don't know the year your
Benga.
Sorry, Aisha, you're giving.
No, that's what I'm no. No, I totally get. We're going to come to the other ones. No, you see, you need to give people sometimes the irrelevant. They are important because you need to look at people and see what is it that you cannot become and what is it that you should not become. So that's why for me, like I tell people, I don't mute, I don't block anybody. Whoever will come, and sometimes you understand, people are under a bondage that they do not know. So the privilege that we know to understand that we are citizens who occupy the office of the citizen, that is the highest office in the land, not many people have it. So there are people who feel they are slaves, and sometimes just the fact of talking to them, it helps. And that's what for me, that's what I do. So it's okay with him. So anybody who wants to verify, in short, if you go through my tablet, my certificates are all there. Go and verify them. I'm not going to use sand. And if there's any forgery, please come and meet me. I will help you drag me. So let me come back to, I think I'm trying to pick the people who have not spoken before. Mark, okay, Mark and Tony, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great.
Yes, that's good. So yes, I follow you, and you're very intelligent. I respect your thought process. So for the guy that was speaking last, that's just most speaking recently, he was saying like you gotta respect the president. So how can you respect the person who didn't respect the process to become president in the first place? He rigged his way. And then this same person will come on TV, Nigerian citizens, you need to bear with me and suffer a little bit more. But at the same time, they get pay raises. And then, thirdly, Nigerians need to stop selling their souls for tribe and religion. Until that stops, the same thing. Just like the way this guy was speaking, the one that was just speaking, that's how these politicians use you as puppets because of people that think that way. So they're like, oh, he's gonna think this way. He's a puppet, so I'm going to continue to steal from the back end and just smile in his face, but I'm stealing from him at the same time. That's why Nigeria is the way it is. We gotta stop selling our souls for tribe and religion. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you so much, Mark Anthony, for that. It's very important for us to understand that at the end of the day, bad governance affects every one of us, irrespective of your tribe and your religion. I think,
Yes.
yeah. So, Abubakar, go ahead.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam tella.
Yeah, my name is Abubakar from Kaduna State. And I want to make it clear, I was never part of Obedient Movement. I followed you on Twitter, even though I disagree openly with most of your tweets. So I joined this space just to ask you a simple question. Most speakers have, kind of pinpoint that the election cycle has come and gone with the final judgment by the Supreme Court. Your opinion is yours, mine is mine. You keep talking about doing the right thing, being a citizen. We are not slaves. I agree with all of that. My question to you is this: looking back at what happened throughout the campaign, would you admit that you, as a person and Labour Party, have done something wrong? That you look forward to correcting it so that you can have the national spread, you can have the acceptance of all Nigerians? I speak as a northerner, as a Hausaman, Bahaushe. I felt that Labour Party did not, accord all regions of Nigeria the same respect. And I have many reasons to say that. In one of your tweets, with which I replied you made mention that one can become a president without the vote of the North, or something similar to that. And I remember my reply was that, you said you don't believe the North can make one a president. And my reply to your tweet was that neglecting any region of the country can cost someone the presidential victory. Something similar to that. I speak, I believe many Northerners have the same feeling with regards to the way you in particular and Labour Party look at the Northerners when it comes to the issue of last election. Would you admit that you have done wrong and that you would look forward to treating every Nigerian equally as citizens?
What about the northern governors that haven't neglected the northern
I'm
people?
not asking you.
No, it's okay. That's
the northern governors that
I'm not asking you.
let's mute. No, let's mute and listen to him. Abubakar, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you.
So I speak Hausa very well, born and brought up in Kano.
Okay, but
So I'm gonna give you a proverb. Huh? No, I'm just gonna do a proverb, which I know you understand. Ance, munafincin dodo takan ci me shi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know that.
Absolutely. And to come to say, so for those who I'm trying to find how to literally translate it to something like someone's hypocrisy will always eat up that person.
And we kind of catch up with him.
So we catch up with him. So the first thing, so I've listened to you, Abubakar, so you need to listen to me, not to reply me, but listen to me the way I listen to the questions you were giving. The first of all is the hypocrisy I see in you trying to say that, oh, Labour Party or Aisha Yesufu did not accord not respect. Did not accord itself respect. Gayen Sodi, population of just population, just there. And there's a term in Hausa that is called Gayen Sodi. You sit down there and say a man who went to every state in the north, who met with people that needed to be met, who sat down and spoke to every state in the northern part of the country that he went to and gave them solution and mentioned state by state what was going to be done and how every state had greatness in it to be unlocked. You say that person sidelined you. Meanwhile, the person who looked at you with arrogance and told you that you are nothing, that it was his turn to be president, that even the Buhari that you put on your shoulder, that if not for him, Buhari would be president, and that's the person that you say did not neglect you. You can live in a place where you decide and like an ostrich bury your head. You can't reply me because I didn't reply you. I listened to everything until you ended. So you're going to listen. So this is the thing. You see, this is the problem. People don't listen when you are speaking. Even if you have said, Aisha, you are stupid, you are useless, I will listen. Me, I tell people, I have the capacity to listen. When you're talking, I will listen and everything. So I listen to you. So you need to listen. I told you earlier on, don't listen to reply me. Listen to hear what I'm saying. The same North that the life of its citizen have been rendered useless, killed like chicken, nothing being said, because now our own, we no good talk. Oh, he's a Muslim who is a president. Buhari was president, and that hypocrisy is dealing with you guys now. That's why Tinubu has entered office, and the killings and the kidnappings and the abduction he has not even bothered to enter to say anything, even while he was fighting his illegitimacy and he was looking for people that would support him, but he knew that region was under pocket. Let me come back. Peter Gregory Obi went through before any of the candidates, he went through all the states, sometimes many times over. He met with religious leaders across. Even Tahiru Bauchi, Peter Obi met Tahiru Bauchi before the APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu went there. He even got a lot of backlash when he met with Gumi. He met with a lot of traditional rulers, religious rulers, went to their places, went to the different, traditional rulers, met them there, told them what he was going to do. But because there's a proverb I'm looking for now, it has eluded me. But because of the hypocrisy, the tribal bigotry, and the religious bigotry of saying, oh, we cannot vote, fine. And I'll tell you something, and I will repeat it here again. I said, there is no region that can make one president. And I repeat it. And the North does not have the power to make anybody president. Otherwise, they would have made Buhari president since 2007. And let me tell you something. If you don't get it, that thing they used to call one North, Tini, there is no one North. If you're talking about the Arewa, even when you talk about Arewa, it's mostly attached to those northwestern states. The northeastern state does not, in short, the Kaduri man doesn't even see Hausa man as something. The Fulani man who know why who give Hausa person marriage, even to marry is wahala. So you can say that to you can present a united front to maybe somebody who is not from the north. I grew up in the north. I grew up in Kwanahudu. If you're from Kwanahudu, if you don't know anybody, ask them where is Kwanahudu in Kano. That is the ghetto of the ghetto. A lot of some of those people, the one with people that stay there, you don't even know the north as much. When you're talking about the Northeast, it's not that Arewa-ish, whatever. There are lots of tribes, different religion, all of them. You have the North Central. Yeah, that's it. Northeast, Northwest, and North Central. So that arrogance. And without him, why was there a rigging? They needed to do a rigging for this illegitimate person, imposter, to be there in office. Why didn't he leave the rigging out and let the results come in the way they worked for the House of Rep members? 3 elections were done on the same day, and the one of Senate. So the thing is that, and for me, you understand, up until this moment, I didn't even realize that the North knew nothing about politics. I always get it because, they knew so much. Zero. You had someone who you could have held, but because of that myopic view, that Arewa, that myopic view, which was still putting out here to say, did you feel that something, you made a mistake, you didn't carry anybody. It's you that refuse to be carried along, because if they carry you on your head and you refuse to enter, will they kidnap you? Peter Obi is not in the business of kidnapping, so he couldn't have kidnapped you to carry. He was in the business of persuasion, which he did by coming to meet you several times on different grounds. Even Dirty went around the 19 northern states, meeting with the leaders. They were working on a place where they were doing. At one time, I remember I did a tweet and I said, when people were saying, where is Dirty? Why? I said, no. I said, Dirty was doing as much, but it's just that Dirty was not very much on, what do I put it now? The visibility, putting it out there. He doesn't even still have a Twitter account or any social media account. There was a time I had to come and say, look, you cannot continue to go on these things and not put the images out there. I said, perception is everything. We agreed on this thing. He will say to me, I put some of this thing out. So if you want to sit down, and now that the Shege has entered pro-mass, I call say ya when the Bejibaribo say ya Jehovah. That's a Hausa person when no hear word, you go hear when. It's a Hausa proverb. So when you sat down, now you are not trying to convince yourself and assuage maybe your soul or your conscience that, the reason why you didn't vote Peter B was that he didn't carry you. No, he carried you along. He came to you. Even when they went to Arewa house, please, if you remember Arewa house, put your hand up or give me a sign. Let me remember that conversation that they had when the Arewa, and I said something on that day. And I did a tweet and I said, yes, that's the way to go. The way Arewa Consultative Forum came together and brought all the presidential candidates. Come and tell us what to do. And I commended them for that. I said, that's how politics is done. You bring them in and hear what they're going to say. And then look for the first person that you vote for. You see, the problem with Abubakar, the mindset from what I see you said now is that you think politics is romantic affair. I need to like him. I need to love the person.
I think you're speaking for yourself. Allow me to speak for myself.
You have spoken. You spoke for me.
You cannot just shut me.
No, I wish. No. Abubakar, I gave you room to speak. You understand?
Ask me to listen to you.
No. And I've not finished. I gave you room to speak. You spoke. You finished speaking.
I will wait for you to finish so I can respond.
No, you can't respond. But I'm going to move on to the next person. If you need, maybe the next time I do a space. Or you do a space. No. You've already see. That's the thing. You can't. This is. You can't come and control the conversation here. Nope. I listen to you. You finish what you're saying. You cannot reply. I didn't. So no. Hold on. We have people who are waiting to speak. And this is the process that most of you don't want to adhere to. This is the process. No, Mark, just hold on. No, I'm going to answer because what has happened, I've said anybody that has spoken before, there are people who haven't spoken. I'm going to move on. And I gave you came to tell me that I have. Why are you interrupting me, Biko? No, you can't do that. You can't come to this and this. That's the thing, because you guys don't have this thing for process. You think, you're going to do what I listen to you finish. And so you've done your own. Let me talk. Continue the conversation on my Twitter handle and go and type what you need to tell me. I don't block, I don't mute.
I'm not afraid of doing it there. I always disagree.
Fine, fantastic. So you see, this is the thing. I always tell you people, you'll be the one to come and tell me that you disagree. Me, I don't even know that me and you used to speak. So it's okay. And I'm okay with it. You don't get it. I'm okay with it. So listen, let me doing. You've already said your own. You said I am wrong. Oh, Aisha, you were wrong. Aisha, you said this. I didn't interrupt you.
I didn't say
Learn to listen.
you accept.
Learn to listen, and I'm giving you my own. So learn to listen. Abubakar, if you don't mute, I'm gonna remove you. That's as simple as that, because you need to listen. You can't continue derailing the conversation. Thank you so much.
So for me, if you can remove me for telling the truth.
Oh, please mute yourself. You can't disrupt the conversation. So in going on, so you sat down. You now are now trying to say, oh, the reason why this happened is because they didn't carry you along. Nobody is going to carry you on their head. You are not a baby. He's not in the, like I said earlier, Peter Obi is not in the business of abduction. Neither is in the business of kidnapping, that is going to kidnap people and carry them along. He wasn't in the business of giving people money, that he has to come and give you money for anybody to vote for him or not vote for him. What he was in the business of doing was persuasion, which is politics. And politics is not about who you like or who you don't like. And I've always said this thing, for those who follow my tweets, I say I can vote for somebody I don't like, as long as that person is the best person to do the work. I don't have business liking you or not liking you. And so the North had someone who was ready to work for them, who gave them a shot and broke it down into state by state. What are the different things? Is it to do with agriculture? Is it to do with commercialization, the marketing, brought in the Kano, the people, the biggest, I think the biggest rice mill is one of his, what do you call it? I hope you're hearing me. The biggest rice mill is one of his, the bank, they gave loan to that person, all of that he explained, but they did it. And let me repeat what I said, because I see is this arrogance that keep going on, that, oh, is the not that we decide who becomes president. Oh, Arewa with this. Arewa does not have the power, neither does any region. And from the South region, the South region does not have the power to decide who becomes president. The Southeast region does not have the power to decide, neither the Southwest or the Northwest or the Northeast or the North Central. I said it before and I repeat it. And I said if Arewa had that power, they would have made Buhari president since 2003, when he started asking for. So that is that on that case. On the issue of Labour Party carried people, and all across Nigeria, whether it was in the north, whether it was in the south, east or west, Peter Obi had his supporters. They were ready to put in the work, and they did put in the work, and they walked on the street, and they were everywhere. They were being mocked by people who said Peter Obi cannot get up to 100,000 votes. They were being mocked by people who said that nothing was, but Nigeria sat down, and I can assure you from every part of the country, they voted for him. And he won the election. So whatever you think, whatever it is that will make you feel now that the Shege has entered pro-mass, that oh yeah, you would have voted him is because he didn't carry. No, own whatever it is you're owning. You didn't want to vote him, you went in. If you this whoever the imposter in office, if it's your president, go ahead and make demands on him. Make for him to end the insecurity everywhere in Nigeria, in the north, in the south, in everywhere. Go ahead and do that. It's not something that Aisha Yesufu, I'm repeating, he's not my president. He is not, and will stay on this. And all of this hypocrisy, and I see all of a sudden, I see the Malams who are so angry at what's his name, Nelson Wike. They are not angry at Nuhu Ribadu that is busy laughing anyhow while people are being killed, even from that northern part of the country that is well. I see now the hypocrisy of saying, the imposter we have in office is appointing only people from the southwest, but when Buhari was appointing people from the north and whatever, it was okay. That is why people need to speak on issues, whether it affects you or not. Look at the issue the way it is, the process, the truth, the justice, and speak on it, so that tomorrow you'll be able to speak. You'll be able to say, the day where they back, they know they hide novel. If you don't speak when you're supposed to speak, if you don't speak, truth must be spoken with rosa. That's the Hausa saying. If you don't say it when you are supposed to say it, it will come to a time when you will no longer be able to speak, because when you were supposed to say it, you didn't say the things you were supposed to speak. I think, boss man, you have not spoken. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Aisha. Good evening, everyone. Um, honestly speaking, thank you for giving me this opportunity. But then I think a lot of us are not really getting it right. The reason why the obedient movement came to life, why it came to life, because these most honorary things for us to do as a citizen is to hold our leaders or those who are in place of authority accountable for what they are there to do. Obedient movement.
No mind them. Now they are hearing pro-mass shaggy. They want to say that, oh, it's because that Peter Obi did not come to the Peter Obi that was everywhere speaking. In short, na Peter Obi na not matter na Peter Obi carry for head dey explain to them how he will do
One African country came up to
Greek and everything. Now he's coming to see us.
UK ambassador to Nigeria or something like that. Now, these people are there in their country enjoying all the goodies of democracy or governance, but yet they come to Africa to encourage bad leadership. I think we need to just sit down, and ponder over all of this that has been happening. A lot of us, we are okay. Like myself, my families are not here, but I live here, I work here because I believe that there will be a better Nigeria someday.
Mm-hmm.
The obedient movement, we are almost getting there. But okay, fine. The judgment has been passed today does not mean that's the end of our lives. It is even better for us to be more active or proactive now that they are in government and to hold them accountable to make sure that while they are there, they give us what we are requesting for. So for people to come online this evening and let's start throwing blames at each other, saying things that are not, warrantable, it is uncalled for. We just need to appreciate ourselves. I celebrate this movement. I must be sincere with you. We did a lot that people think, okay, was it not last week that the governor of Imo State was saying that obedient movement is all about good governance, obedient movement is all about this? And see, to be honest with you, the same person, I understand when to go and gather some people together somewhere and was saying that obedient movement, they've supported him, they are going to vote for him during the forthcoming election. If we have not really made an impact, you won't be seeing such things coming up at this time of our lives. So I think the best thing for us to do as a citizen, and not citizen at that matter, is for us to come together and fight for what is rightly ours and fight for these people to do the right thing for us. Are we not tired? Are we not tired? Diesel is how much now? Petrol is how much now? How much is dollar now? How much is a bag of rice? How many families now can afford 3 square meals? Okay, because government is promising to give us money, let them give each and every one of you here on this platform 100,000 a month. You will finish it in 3 days.
Mm.
You will finish that money in 3 days. Is that how we want to live our life? Somebody is in Canada, and the guy spoke here now, I think. You are in Canada, you are enjoying all the goodies of life. You have light, you have good electricity, good transportation system, everything is available for you. And you are doesn't want me. And instead of you to let us come together as a young citizen, let us be able to be proud of our green passport wherever we go. I traveled a lot and I know what my eyes sees whenever there is nowhere anybody is that cannot touch in this world. I know what I used to see when I present my green passport, the look they will look at you. In May, I was in the US. I went to a car company to go and hire a car. The guy that was to attend to me when he saw my passport, do you know what the guy was telling me? Oh, Nigeria, a country where they said the president for certificate. And I told him, I won't hold back on that. I said, bad leadership, bad people are everywhere. We should be more interested in making sure that our country is being projected in a good manner to the rest of the world. Not for us to come on this platform and be blaming one another.
Okay, Bossman, you need to round up.
Thank you very much. I think I use the mic at this point.
Okay. Thank you so much. Like I've said earlier, if you've spoken before, that's it. There are people who haven't spoken. I have to go on to those people. I'm not going to come back to people who have not spoken. If I do space again or you see me another space, we can always have those conversations. I think Victor has not spoken. Yeah, Victor, go ahead, please, and unmute yourself. And then we have Tunde Jimo after Victor. Victor, can you hear me? Victor, Tunde, if Victor is not there, Tunde, can you hear me? Jara, go ahead, since the other ones are not available. Jara. Hello, Jara, Jara. I hope I got that right.
Are you working?
Jara, can you hear me? You're muted if you're speaking. Anyways. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay then. So that means the fault is not from my own place. I see Victor. I'm asking Victor to speak. I think Jaden has spoken before, if I'm not mistaken. Then there is Sahabo Usman. Sahabo Usman, go ahead. Jara, I think Jara had issues with his network. So just to say something else, the biggest thing that we have in Nigeria, and I think so while waiting for either Jara or Victor to be able to get their mic on, the biggest thing that we have in this part of the country, or whether it's peculiar to this part of the world, or just peculiar to Nigeria, is the fact that people are fixated about blaming their fellow citizens. Oh, you should do this. No, I'm not doing that. That's why I'm not your public servant. I'm a private servant that will talk my talk how I want to talk. We would rather blame fellow citizens rather than blame the people who have impoverished the people, who have given bad governance, who have not provided security. Not only have not provided security, have no care for the security that is being provided, have no care for the lives of the people, do not care. People are being killed, people are being kidnapped. You're coming out to say, this life must matter, that life must matter. They are not answering. And you know why they are not answering? Because when people were making demands on the government to protect lives, guess what was happening? You guys were attacking the people and defending government. So that's it. Government has grown wings and horns. So the thing that you did during Buhari and said that, people cannot make demands on Buhari. How dare you make demands on Buhari? You are this, you are that, all manner of insult. Now the illegitimate person that has entered, the imposter in there now, has taken that up and he has used it to rub Vaseline on his body. You can't go after your fellow citizens. Focus on your government. Government is supposed to give you good governance. No citizen owes you anything. The people that owe you accountability, the people that owe you good governance, the people that you're supposed to be calling to order are the people that you're slaving for, and people should stop slaving for them because they are your employees. It's not the other way around. I see Jara. I think Jara has coming back as requesting. Jara, go ahead, please. You cannot speak. Go ahead. If you're speaking, we can't hear you. Okay, Kelly. Sahabo, you're on the line. Sahabo. Is it Sahabo Usman? Sahabo Usman. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know whether it's network or whatever. I just want to take the next few cards and just shut down the space. Sahabo, can you hear me? Okay, Dr. AI. Hello, Dr. AI. Okay, is that Power? Power, go ahead and speak. Power, go ahead and speak. Who is that? If you've spoken before, I've said no, you can't speak again. It's one person. So Power, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Mama Aisha, good evening.
Good evening.
Today is a very sad day for Nigerians. You can look at the streets of Nigeria, there's no celebration. People are mourning. We have been mourning since the 25th of February, when the election was rigged. But it's okay, we move. I want to tell all obedience, all Labour Party members that we are fighting a good fight. We must rescue Nigeria from the criminals that have held our stage. This country belongs to all of us. I will not leave this country for anybody. Tinubu and his gang, they should be ashamed that only 36% of Nigerians voted for them. 36% of the total voters voted for them. 36%. You know, so that shows that if it's an exam, it's an F. So that means the majority of the Nigerians that voted that day did not vote for him. So they know he has don't give up. We will sit back and look at where we make mistakes. 2027, we're going to come out. We'll defend our vote, fire to fire. We cannot sit back and allow these people to use their talks to come into it. No. 2027, we'll sit back from now on, we will not relent. We'll be having our discussions and making plans. We achieved a lot in just 11 months.
Yeah, 11 months.
We achieved a whole lot. Then imagine what we can achieve in 3 years. So we have to keep the momentum. Because the country is for all of us. We are suffering. We have over 140 million extremely poor Nigerians. Out of confidence on the high. Nothing is working in this country. And some people just come out and start saying rubbish. That you have not, you have power. What crazy power do you have in the north? Power of poverty? Power of killing? I don't know how some people reason. You don't need any region of the country to make you president. All what you need, we have 6 geographical zones. You just need 4/6. 4/6, that's what you need. 4/6. If you can get south, southeast, southwest, and north central, you are good to go. You are good to go, and pocket of votes there about. They know Peter Obi got those votes 100%. They suppressed his vote. We voted in Lagos. You know what? In my polling unit, APC got just 20 votes. In Lagos here, my polling unit, APC got 20 votes. Labour 375. PDP 4. Who voted for these people? Nobody. And the people that voted more in Lagos are Yoruba, so they all voted for Peter Obi. My polling unit was filled with Yorubas. The voters for Peter Obi. In fact, my polling unit is the polling unit that has a palace there. The palace there, one of the palace in Ethiopia. We want that polling unit. Landslide. Across that wall, we want everywhere. In his so-called Lagos that he built. You go to Abuja that he wants to rule. He didn't get 15% vote in Abuja. You go to Nasarawa, their party chairman. We beat him there. You go to Plateau State, his Tinubu will win 2027 election again. This time, obedience. We have to come out. If they come out, we can bring our own country. If they're crazy, nobody has the monopoly of violence. We have seen what they can do. So we have to prepare ourselves. It's battle. Our president, Peter Obi, must know that you must behave like a madman to get this thing from this man, because there are mad people. If they shout, you shout. We have the crowd. We have everything. If Peter Obi was a politician, by now Nigeria would have divided into two. Because he has the crowd. He has the people, but he's also no. Let's follow it the right side. Let's follow this other way.
Okay.
We know what we do our mistakes, and we'll do that by those who correct our mistakes and will come back very strong in 2027. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Like, I'll continue to reiterate, whatever we do, we must be on the side of the law. We must, the kind of politician that is going to divide the country, the kind of politicians that are going to shed light, the kind of politicians that are going to use violence, definitely will not be the kind of politics that we are going to do. And we must ensure that it gets to a place where it becomes difficult for them to even find people to use. And that's where we are going to. There's enough time. There's several elections that are coming up, to the National Assembly, to state houses of assembly. Let's focus on getting credible people into office, and for them to do the right, and also hold them accountable. Let's not forget that part. Hold them accountable. Anybody in office, hold that person accountable. Politics is not a romantic affair. It's not I like you, I like. The fact that you voted for someone does not mean when the person is doing anyhow that you not call him. Ensure the person that you voted for is the one that you call out the more, and ensure that they do the things that they're supposed to do. Jara, go ahead. I hope you're able to hear us now. We've been I was calling on you since. Fantastic. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. It's been a long while I attended in the space, and that's because of my frustration with the whole process, with the whole politics in Nigeria, with the whole thing. A little bit of background of myself. In 2015, I strongly supported Buhari, thinking, with that kind of change, thinking PDP had a stranglehold of Nigeria, and then hopefully with a new change, maybe things will unravel a little bit, and then we can begin to retrace our steps, and hopefully we'll have a better nation. But it turns out that it's even worse than the PDP that we thought had a stranglehold. Unfortunately, this degeneration carried on for a long time, and up till now we still have feeling the effect. I must say I am pro break up Nigeria, please. And it's just my own personal opinion, and that's because I believe that we've tried everything and nothing has worked so far. And it looks like those who actually had the stranglehold on Nigeria knows how to do that job very well, and they just kept tightening their hold on Nigeria, because it's now looking like we now have someone who has captured the whole of the country. It's captured the judiciary, it's captured the legislature, and it's captured everywhere, just like it captured Lagos. It took a glitch on the day of election for this man to win. A glitch on the day of the election for him to win. And that sort of tells me, that just sort of reinforces my own belief that this Nigeria cannot work. That those who don't want it to work are far more powerful than those of us who want it to work. I wish Nigeria could work. I came to the conclusion that it cannot work based on the event that has unfolded in my very own eyes. And that also drove me to that point. If not? Why not? Why can't we have it work in Nigeria? I love the obedient, despite the fact that I want Nigeria to break up. I love the obedient movement. It was inspiring. Even if we're going to break up tomorrow, we need that kind of inspiration. We need that kind of coconut head to make that happen. So there was nothing not to love about that movement. It's new. It's organic. It was a well-oiled machine with no one taking charge or being in the control of that kind of structure. And it's a good thing. I commend that. But the recent event, plus the past one, continues to reinforce my belief in the fact that it doesn't look like Nigeria can ever work. 2027, we're going to be here again, having this conversation again. And these people, these evil people, know their ways around this system, that they will submerge it, they will subvert it, and they will truncate it, and we'll still be here still saying the same thing. We still will not take to the street, because I will not advise or advocate for anyone to take to the street and be killed. Those who took to the streets in Lekki Toge were gunned down. Would I advise anyone to do the same again? Never. And we will not, because this government don't care about human lives at all. So in 2027, you all will get your PVC. You all will get the vote. You will win. I have no doubt that you won in February. You will win again in 2027 with landslide. But guess what? Because these people have captured the whole state, the judiciary is in their pocket, the electoral system is in their pocket. Can you imagine the court saying that electoral guideline is what did this justice use? It's just a guide. He said it's just what did he use to say that it's not important?
Is it on the issue of the 25%?
No, on the issue of the entire electoral guideline, because initially we were told that.
Was it the IREV issue?
Yes, on the IREV, to dismiss the IREV the importance of the IREV. He used the word to say that it's not important. It's just because INEC said they were going to use the IREV, and they did not eventually use the IREV. Therefore, IREV is nothing. There was a word used, that word just escaped me just now. Just so they can dismiss the importance of the IRA. You made a rule before the game started. In the middle of the game, you changed the rule. And Nigerian judge or justice system cannot pick up on that. I said, that is a serious infraction. If you cannot pick up on that, that's just to tell you that whatever they do in 2020, so this is just my personal belief, this is just my own personal opinion, whatever they do in 2027, which they will do, there's nothing you can do about it. Because they will ask you to go to court. You're going to go to court, and the judge will, no matter how strong your case is, and the judge is going to laugh in your face and go, this is the judgment I'm going to deliver, and there's nothing we can do about it, because I will not advocate for anyone to take to the streets. Because I don't want anyone dead on behalf of Nigeria. Because it's not worth it. To tell you it's not worth it, Gumi was live, was on record saying, oh, this area belongs to this kind of religiosity or kind of religion and kind of people, this area. And you think you have won Nigeria? Anyway, I'll stop here right now.
Thank you so much, Jara. I think you will be the last speaker that we're going to take on. I'll be shutting down the space shortly. And for me, is the thing that I've always said that for me, good governance, accountability, transparency, I will repeat it again, is sacrosanct. One Nigeria is not sacrosanct. If we need to break up one Nigeria, we need to do it. But then again, it has to come. It's the National Assembly that is going to lead that whole conversation. We don't have a referendum in our constitution. The constitution talks about one indissoluble, indivisible, whatever Nigeria, and all of that. And the thing is that every region in Nigeria, there's no region in Nigeria that cannot be a great country. Every region in Nigeria has the capacity to be a great nation, amazing nation, from the north to the east to the west to the south. What we've had is bad leaders across the whole country that have held the people down. We have a political class that have impoverished the people, continue to ensure that people get more and more into poverty, and the more people get into poverty, the more they are able to buy votes cheaply. I mean, give somebody 500 naira, it becomes a big thing that they are going to do. Don't destroy the educational system, which is what has been done all over the country, some region more than others. destroy the educational system. People are not that educated. Even people who are educated are not they don't critical thinking. They are bereft of critical thinking and comprehension, and so it's very easy for them to use. They want to have a block, a voting block that they can control irrespective of, and so that's the way they have all put Nigeria down. I can tell you there's no region, and I remember even like during the whole campaign when Peter Obi we talk about the vast lands in the north, how that can be used agriculture in terms of exportation, in terms of the different regions where is it the planting of flowers, is this the places where you do coffee, you do tea, you do wheat. I mean, there is a whole lot of innovation in different parts of the country, but yet because there are some selfish people who want to only benefit themselves and their families, they have continuously kept these regions down for them to continue to do the things that they're doing. And what they always do is to put this seed of hatred, make people see that, oh, the politician is, it's not the one that is your problem. It's your fellow human being who has the guts to speak against the politician that is your problem. I mean, especially when you see that kind of mentality from people who are seemingly educated, it's baffling. And then you begin to wonder, what are the people who have not even had the right, who have not had the privilege to be educated? What then kind of mindset are they taking on? But the thing is that one of the things for which I always say to people is that, look, whether we like it or not, in this Nigeria, we are united. The poverty in every region of Nigeria unites us. The lack of good quality education unites us. The fact that access to good quality education is dependent on the economic status of one's family unites every Nigerian. The lack of employment unites every Nigerian. The number of out-of-school children unites every Nigerian. The number of children that are on the streets, even though some regions have more than the other, unites Nigeria. The corrupt politicians who continue to loot their country, whether legitimately or illegitimately, unite Nigeria. We have a lot of governors, deputy governors who are being paid stupendous amounts of pension. Even presidents, ex-presidents, former presidents, vice presidents who are being paid stupendous amounts of money. They unite Nigeria. The politicians who are buying exorbitant things for themselves, cars. A senator said to Nigerians that they need those cars because of bad roads that they have given us, that they were supposed to provide good roads for, they've not provided. They unite Nigeria. I don't think there's any senator from or any House of Rep member from any of the 36 states in Nigeria that did not collect it. So whether you're from Kano, you are Edo, you are Benue, you are wherever, you are fighting your fellow citizens. Hey, somebody from your state just collected cars worth 100 and something million naira, and there are some people who might never see 100 and something million naira in their lives, can never have access to that, but yet somebody who is supposed to be working on their behalf, they are collecting that money. Whether we like it or not, the 30,000 naira that is now less than, is that less than, I think it's less than $30 unite every Nigeria. So we have bad roads unite Nigeria, kidnappings, abduction, killings, maiming, they all unite Nigeria. So when people say we are not united, I tell them the problems we have are so numerous that they should unite us. And then what we're supposed to do with those problems is that find a way of solving those problems. Then when we solve those problems, we cannot sit back and say, hey, when we have 24, in short, we don't have 24/7 electricity. If you can provide 24/7 electricity in your house, you have to be the one to do it. When I'm at home, I have a minister of power who is my husband that ensures I have 24/7 electricity. Even when AEDC take light, I don't know, because automatically the other ones will come on. It provides the water and everything, even the roads to our estates in Abuja. Then we all contributed money to build them. So what government are people telling me that you should have government, that I should have somebody's portrait inside my office? Yeah, is he the one paying the rent to my office? Is he the one buying? Did he buy the cement for me to build the office or any of those? So we must understand that there are so many of our problems that unite us, and if we are able to unite on those problems, let's even tackle the problems. Then when we finish solving the problems, we have good governance, we have development, we have free transport system. I don't need to use a car. I should be able to have a bus that I can ride comfortably, not the one that I'll be struggling with people, not the one that it's hard on my life. I should my minimum wage should be able to give me a decent life. I should be able to have decent life. I don't have to be stupendously rich to be able to enjoy decent life. I should be able to enjoy decent life even on the minimum wage. When we are able to solve all of those problems, then we can now come and say, even I say my religion is different from your religion, or my tribe is different from your tribe, or my gender, then we can be fighting over those silly issues. But if otherwise, with all those problems that we've not had the sense to unite on the problem. We are busy fighting over things. Meanwhile, those people who are causing all of this problem, they never fight over this. Did we hear any of them say, "Oh, I'm a Muslim, I will not accept this 130, 100 and whatever million naira vehicle that I'm giving you"? Or did any of them say, "I'm a Christian, I will not accept," or "I'm a traditionalist," or "I'm atheist, I will not accept any of those things"? None of them has done that. So people just sit down and they're fighting themselves and they're doing all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, this is the question. Now I'm going to round up here by saying the why I even started this space was the fact that I was trending. I don't know why I was trending. I know I did mention the fact that Buhari, Tinubu can never be my president, will never be my president, because the process that brought him, it's not a credible process. And for context, for those who don't understand, you say, I think it was it Jara was speaking when he said there was a glitch that brought him. People need to understand this glitch. On one day, there were 3 elections to the House of Representatives, Senate, and also presidency. Out of these 3 elections, 2 of them, the results could be uploaded. Only one, the presidential election, that the results could not. That was where the glitch happened. If glitch happened, why didn't the glitch happen all over? Why was the glitch on one place? It took rigging for someone who said they have been doing politics for donkey years to be able to rig their way into office. See what you do. It took you 11 months to be able to win it. Nothing. No, if you've spoken before, I said no. If you've spoken before, I said
no. In relation to what you have just said now.
No, I'm sorry, because it's a rule. No, you can't ask any question. It's a rule I gave. I can't go back on it. Whatever you go and ask on my handle, we'll continue the conversation there. And so, no, Wala, please, because anybody that has spoken will speak again. I'm rounding up now. Go and ask whatever question you. No, he has a right to. Every one of us, we have a right to be here. Please, let's just be this thing. So the thing is,
you don't know the meaning of INF. It's just a viewing button.
The thing is, no. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So the main focus, we are not the problem. So everybody, whatever it is, we will leave this space. We're gonna deal with diesel. We're gonna deal with whatever cost of things in the market. We're going to deal with people sending us messages that they need one thing or the other. We have enough problem. Whatever people who believe they have a president, go make those demands. Go get the people that are voted into office to do the things that are supposed to be done. I will end up here by saying that Aisha Yesufu, I do not have a president. Tinubu will never be my president. He can never be my president. He rigged his way into office. Someone who is a certificate forger can never be. And whoever has headache with that, feel free to have your headache. It's your life. Yes. Do it and continue to do so. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you so much for being part of this. I really do appreciate it. And it is what it is. Process have to be processed. Like I said earlier, if you had spoken before, there was so you wouldn't be able to speak. So thank you. Let's continue the conversation. Whatever it is, continue on my page, on my handle. I don't block, I don't mute anybody. If I get your turn, you do anyhow, you will see anyhow. But at the end of the day, let's continue. This is just the beginning, and we'll continue to do it. Nigeria must work in our lifetime by the grace of God. Thank you, everyone, and bye-bye.
For the next 4 years, it will be like this.
Oh, so sorry about that. I've forgotten that. Do you know? Hello everyone. So sorry that I was so focused on the other, what do you call it? I've forgotten that this was still live, that I have not finished this. Definitely. WWF is God. I think that's what. Thank you. So exactly, most of them don't want, so they don't want to listen. They just want to come and say, oh, they'll keep interrupting. For me, one of the things I always do is that I will give you room to talk. If you're on my space, whatever you, if you like, come and say, Aisha, you are a mad person. Aisha, I don't care. Some people have come to my, I will listen to you. When you're done talking, more I will talk my own. And the rule is the rule. If there are other people who have not spoken, I'm not going to be doing back and forth with you. I'm just going to say it the way it is. I must say to everybody, please don't be discouraged. Please don't be angry. Please don't feel, yeah, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel discouraged and come on, but remember that giving up shouldn't be an option. And if you give up right now, it will be like you're almost there. Don't think that when you see, oh, they can get their way, they can do, it's not like that. Where we are right now, nobody, in short, they said Peter Obi cannot get 1,000 votes. Sorry, 100,000 votes. They say even Anambra, they say he can't win Anambra, right? So even one local government he can't win. But then see what happened, and it happened because of you all. And so let's take that all. Let's continue to work. Let's not give up. They might think they have it, you understand? But one day, monkey go market, e no go come back. So thank you so much for being part of this. I don't know why I wasn't able to answer and all of that, but it's really been amazing time being with you guys, and I just don't know why they are trending my matter there. Me, I said it, and I won't put Martin, I won't put water in my mouth. Tinubu will never be my president. That's as far as I'm concerned. Me, I know my president. His name is Peter Obi. Any other person be, and I didn't stop them from, if they feel he's their president, let them go and be doing it. But moi, Aisha Yesufu, Tinubu can never be. You can't rig your way into office and expect that I'm gonna be doing to you whatever the Supreme Court, that they can't judicially entrench criminality. Whatever they've done their own business, they can't force me to accept something that is absolutely not right. Not a certificate forger, not somebody who rigged his way into office. Thank you so much for being part of this, and see you some other time. Bye bye.